presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. These bans are coming through real quick, and Geek get the first pick.
They get the first pick and they're banning away a lot of teams that are kind of perform independently. Whereas for Onyx, they're banning a lot of these team play setup, engage kind of heroes. And I mean, they're putting a lot of respect on Beloyski for sure, banning away the Mathilda and the Grin for that flex potential, but also that Nolan though. And for Geek, that's going to be that flex Ruby pick. It's a bit of a signature for Beloy in a way, but we've seen that sometimes it kind of puts you in a tough spot later on when you're trying to flex it around.
Yep, it's a very, very good option if you want to go for first pick, a very safe pick, but for Onyx, CW, you would usually expect for most of the teams here to go for the carry, but Onyx, they choose to go for the Claude instead, something that actually doesn't do too well against that super prio carry, but has kind of the same playstyle in a way, where it's very hard for you to lose lane. You don't want to win lane either. All you want to do is just go equal with the enemy gold laner. I think it's a very good pick for CW, and they pick up an Arlet that's as flexible as a Ruby.
I feel like it depends on who they chose as their gold laner, right? Because I think if Albert was playing, I would expect carry a little bit more. The reason behind this is because of their different gameplays, right? With CW and Albert a little bit more aggressive. I think carry suits him a little bit more of a risk taker as compared to CW. And with Claude, I think it fits his playstyle a bit more. But here, Geek have opted to take the carry as it was left open. Now, a lot of people have argued that carry is one of the best laners in the gold lane. Do you agree with this?
I think it's definitely strong, and it's definitely a lot safer than a lot of other options. The fact is that when your gold laner can build in a tanky fashion, that means that he can also stay in the fight in more dangerous areas, and in turn, ironically enough, output more damage. And you talked about Albert maybe picking up this carry if he was here. Well, Chidera is a gold laner that's very dominant, very aggressive, and he loves taking risks. And I do believe that the carry will be such a great fit in the situation. And with the assistance of a Ruby and a Faramis, it's going to be very tough to reach him. But Onyx, they go for that Fredrin pick, and most likely it's going into jungle. We've covered that already in day number 1.
Jungle?
Most likely.
Because Arlet. Oh no, but Arlet can still be flexed.
Yeah, but the Fredrin, I think at this point, it's very unlikely that we'll see him flex. Not really that strong anywhere aside from the jungle. You can still make him work in the XP, but it really relies on the whole team snowballing in the early game. So, yeah, independently in the XP, not a good pick.
All right, so we're going to assume that Fredrin is going to go to the hands of Kyrie. So not the assassin jungler that we were expecting here in game number 1 for Onyx. As we enter the second phase of the drafts here, the bans are coming in. Baxia gets taken out. Did they expect that Hazel would pick the Baxia up as a jungler?
That must be it, because there's no way they're banning it for any other reason. But I mean, maybe they have done their research and they know that there could be a curveball here. And for Onyx, having the Arlet, having the Fredrin, and technically the Claude that has okay sustain later on, the healing reduction is something that they would dislike to have, especially if they're going to be trying to play around the objectives and trying to play for that setup. Because Baxia, being backed up by a Faramis, that is a huge nightmare for them to try and shred down, especially because they do not have the carry in their hands either. So Baxia with 2 lives is definitely something that they decide that they don't want to risk up against.
They might also want to prevent that control of tempo that a Baxia can offer, right? If, again, what we're assuming is correct, that Fredrin is going into the jungle. But Geek here, they're going to respect Sans in the mid lane, take away his Lilia. Because, you know, no one plays the Lilia like he does. Yes. He is so aggressive. He dies under the turret. He doesn't care. He goes into the enemy base. But I'm still curious as to what Hazel is going to be picking up. And we get a little bit of a history about Hazel here, the new jungler of Geek Fam. You can see his accolades here. One of the main points was that he was able to win first place at Liga Esports National 2023 right before he was recruited by Geek Fam this season.
Definitely no small achievement. So we'll have to see with the expert ban out by them. Whoa. It seems like it's going to be a bit more of a pick-off strategy, but here's a Lapu Lapu. Hang on.
No ban?
Yeah. I don't know if this is an error or if they actually missed out on the ban. If you look behind us, there's a Barats that came through.
Oh, Barats.
So that should be the ban, the Barats, as they pick up the Lapu. Okay, I was just a bit confused there because they went straight to the Lapu. Was expecting a ban first, but yeah, I don't know if we can confirm this yet because behind us, ladies and gentlemen, we see the Barats. On screen, we do not.
Well, going back to the drafts and compositions though, the Lapu Fredrin and Arlott, a very heavy fighter-heavy composition right here. It doesn't usually do well against a Ruby and a Faramis, so the fact that they're picking all this up into what is kind of your counter leads you to believe that they have something special going on for the mid lane. Because you know the Vexana is still not on the map. You have to wonder if Onyx will be picking that up. The Grok and the Marcus though, already trying to counter all the crowd control, all their stuns, all the knockups with the crowd control immunity. So now they have good front line with crowd control immunity, and they have crowd control of their own. But true damage is what Onyx wants.
So that's it. That's why, right? You were talking about this fighter-heavy composition. Gord needs that. Gord needs really good front line to be able to cover him, as Gord will be in the back lines to dish out that damage. Yeah,
it's just something, it's an Onyx special at this point, right? You expect all these meta picks, you expect maybe a Vexana, all the Lilia early on, the Faramis as well, but Onyx saying, no, it's okay. We have our own hero pool, and they have shown, and just recently, the previous tournament, Sean's played the Gord when nobody was expecting Gord. We expected Gord maybe at F5, but now in this meta, it's really hard to pull out the Gord knowing how chaotic the team fights, the skirmishes are. Onyx can still do it though. They show that they can do it. Let's see if they can do it here in MPL Indonesia.
That's the question. This is going to be the debut of Gord as well. No one has dared to pick him up. But of course, Onyx, the Sky Kings, they think otherwise. We'll see if it works out for them, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the Land of Dawn for game number 1 in this best of 3 series, the rematch of MPL ID's Season 12 Grand Finals, GeekFam and Onyx.
Man, this is gonna be a tough one. For Onyx, I think the idea is, you know, against a Faramis, you want good AoE damage that can just output and burst down every single one of those HP bars. Since Lilia isn't available, Gord kind of makes sense on paper, but it's going to be so difficult with so much aggression, so many dive potential from GeekFam, and you're seeing a boy, you know, on his signature Faramis. He's definitely going to be a bit crafty with the NetherRealm timings.
Definitely here. Voloisky still being that oppressive force, trying to give information onto Kyrie's whereabouts as well as try to hinder his movements. But you see that Onyx, they might retaliate here. Voloisky already half health.
Yeah. Still able to escape. Luke is able to secure a little bit of that XP, but gets chunked very, very low. Not the best of trades for Luke, and Onyx are looking very good already early on. CW in this lane against the carry. We mentioned it in the draft, it's not the best lane for the Claude. It's already a dive attempt right now. Hazel's just hovering over. CW still waiting right there. He's super low. Hazel just needs to tap one button, and the battle mirror image brings Hazel back. He finds the kill back. Not bad at all, the trade. Jungle for gold lane early on.
Great play by CW to at least make it an even trade. But look at his trading potential from the carry. He still regens so much HP, and that's the bullying potential, man. You trade a couple of hits, but he disengages while hitting you because the skill, the dash, actually comes with a basic attack component, and that is a lot of issues for CW.
That's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about when Claude was picked up first thing in the morning, right? In the morning of the drafting phase. This CW is notorious. Oh, wait a minute. Top side.
1 HP on Boots. One more shot. A boy finds it. Boots has fallen to 2 side lanes, and Onyx lose out of the setup for the first turtle. GeekFam, they collapse onto the turtle. Into the turtle pit they go, and with Hazel dying earlier, you would have expected that Onyx maybe will have a better chance at this. GeekFam say no, though. They have that better mid control, and they'll utilize it.
That's 2 lanes faltering into the hands of GeekFam, right? Because honestly, at the beginning when I saw the gold lane, I was like, all right, that's fine. CW thrives on losing lanes, right? He's okay, he's good. He's like that type of player that you don't kind of look at for the rest of the game, and then suddenly in the late game or in the mid to late game, he suddenly pops off. But with the EXP lane also losing out, mid lane kind of shaky here for Onyx. It looks like they're losing their control here in the early game. What's going on?
It just says that they're lacking the initiative, right? Usually, I was about to say that with an Arlet, with a Fredrin, right? These are very strong fighters in the early game. Good damage, good sustain as well. On paper, at least, this kind of composition should really be stomping in the early game, and Geek should be the one avoiding all those fights. But with the winning lanes, with the pressure in the mid lane as well, that this is
Quite standard. Chidera with his build, Luke as well, Hazel, Beloyski.
well, there's a quantum charge for Keyboy, which usually we don't quite see on a aggressive roam Arlet. But he's going for a bit more movement speed because he knows it's a lot of...
Two-man, I'm offended. Beloyski was able to steal away the orange, but Boots finds the stun, finds the steal onto the turtle. Kyrie walks back, a wild charge to re-engage in his team, but as Keyboy jumps in with a vengeance, but gets caught in the decimate. And now it's the reset. Sans has been walled away for the team. One big smack away, and Luke with a slash of his scythe and a flicker out to safety. With the Don't Run Wolf King, Kyrie not able to fully chase Boots. Is waiting on that cooldown. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, ZW with a fully popped in blazing duet onto Chidera is still unable to finish this carry off.
And Onyx, like, you were saying?
You were saying?
You were saying? I mean, we were talking about Boots in that EXP lane, going to be able to get that away, but here's CW.
Three-man gank, the barrier, and the pin down with a Mortal Coil to give a boy a kill. 6-5 now. Keyboy is trying to hold that gold minion so that it doesn't get cleared out. 6-5, and still 1,000 gold lead for Geek.
Again, as I was saying, right? I was really going to just, you know, prop up Onyx, and then
Geek's like, you were saying?
You were saying, again, Eterna. But yeah, Boots with that steal in the turtle lane. I think that shift in momentum was great for them, but Geek still hold on to that gold lead.
It's a great moment for them for sure. Especially because we just talked about, maybe some miscalculations coming in from Boots. Well, turns out the man is a mathematical prodigy. But man, this game has a lot of action going on because in the mid game, both teams technically have a lot of power spikes. More damage for the side of Geek, but more card control for the side of Onyx. There's only a difference in the utility where Geek technically has a bit more of an advantage, only if it's a 5v5 where they can get maximum value out of that Netherrealm.
That's why these Purifies are going to come in very handy here for Geek, especially in these team fights. Earlier on, Chidera was very close, but luckily he still had that Purify. Popped it in. It should be up once again as the turtle spawns. With what we saw earlier on in that 5v5, who do you think has the better advantage to get this next objective?
I think the next objective, if Onyx can get a really good engage, right? Because they have Keyboy, if they can get everyone together and combo it with Sans, that could be the winning solution. But Geek is definitely going to try and spread apart and try and counter that kind of game plan, even though that means some members are not protected by the Netherrealm.
I'm offended onto Keyboy. The main initiator right now is going to be CC, but Boots and Kyrie follows through as well. Good Netherrealm as CW pops in a blazing duet to try to disintegrate it. A boy gets caught in the Appraiser's wrath, and even in the back, Luke tries to sustain back up. Hazel with an amazing retribution on the Martyrs. Might have just equalized this trade, and the boy is back up. He had his stacks all stacked up to respawn instantly.
And that's a 2k gold lead now for Geek fam. And I think that's an important thing to note was that Hazel was already 2 levels ahead of Kyrie. So in terms of that 50-50 chance, it did favor Geek fam. But we're going to head into a short pause, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of troubleshooting to do between both of these teams. How do you think things are going?
I think things are going great for...
Fantastic
for Geek fam in particular, man. They've been able to just outmaneuver and outplay a lot of these strats.
Series, 8 minutes has elapsed, but look at Geek fam.
Conceal play, CW battle mirror image into the blazing duet. A good final slot to cancel it out, but the wild charge still will be able to knock CW up. He pops the BMI back, but Luke is too deadly with his side. The beautiful Netherrealm actually saves Hazel right there in that position. Kyrie trying to look for a bit more of a trade here onto Luke. Pokes him a bit, but Luke's a bit too sustainable. He has so much sustain with that Brave Smite on the Ruby, and now a Sea Halberd.
That was a beautiful display of chemistry for both of the teams. CW nearly got taken out earlier on, but the backup coming in from the rest of the team, as well as the backup after that from Geek. A boy Netherrealm, perfect timing. I like the synergy from Geek fam. I think that's what a lot of people were afraid of against Onyx. Onyx, a team that's been together for so long, but Hazel coming in, it feels like a perfect fit.
They're just moving a lot faster and in the right place at the right time before Onyx can even react. Although a big problem is that they only have a single source of consistent damage, which is Chidera. Ooh, okay,
It's fine.
just scaring them off. But as I said, man, they have one single source of damage. We saw that Kyrie earlier was taking damage on 3 members, and he's able to somewhat sustain that. That's gonna be gonna become more and more of an issue later on.
I'm offended onto Keyboy. 3-man, 4-man final slash, but Hazel holds him back with the Mortal Coil and cuts him out of the team fight and off the land at Dawn with a Decimate.
And that's it. Hazel again with another member in his pocket. 3-2-3 KDA, a level above Kyrie right now. Does Onyx really want to contest this and go for that 50-50?
Only one level. Kyrie's walking up. A good Mystic Gush gets a boy low. Boots. Bravest fighter in the flicker right now, bidding on another realm as he dives in deep. The Lord actually knocks a member or a few members of Geek Fam. Boots gets a 3-man stun. Kyrie with their brains is not able to connect right now, and he gets melted down before anyone can do anything about the Lord. Hazel's still on it. He's looking for the retreat. He finds it. He gets knocked up. He's 1 HP. And Sans finally is able to deal with this man. But still, it's a win for Geek Fam.
A huge win for Geek Fam. 2 members taken out. They were able to take Kyrie out of the problem completely, out of the equation completely. And of course, Hazel is going to be able to take that Lord uncontested. A 4K gold lead for Geek Fam. But look at this. Luke.
Gosh, and the flicker as well.
Solo play from Sans. Kind of equalizing, but at the same time, now the Lord spawns, the waves are going to be empowered. This is where Geek want to try and control the waves as good as possible. They did great. That's part of why they were able to get to the Lord in more favorable terms. But now with the waves coming in, they can really start to try and siege, despite the lack of high ground, the lack of long-distance poke. To look at the item builds, Chidera is going a lot more aggressively, not even going for the brute force. He thinks he's winning, he wants to go all in, but CW has reached the power spike, right? The 3-item power spike for the Claude. This means that he will do damage, but he needs to be coming in together with his team. They can't go in 1 by 1, because if Onyx does that, there's no way they can get enough damage out to try and push someone down, and then twice through the Netherrealm.
That's the problem here, but look at this. Concealed play from the Geek Fam. Where are they going?
All the way on to Sans. No flicker on Sans. Beloyski stunned up. Very good disengage and peel from Keyboy there to stop what looked to be Sans' death in the 11th minute of the game. The rotation all the way from top to bottom, though. Onyx has done a very, very good job at clearing out this Lord push and siege.
I don't think any turrets were taken down with that Lord push.
No.
Was it? None.
Wow. They just went to try and get Sans, and he just serves away, right? As his hero is designed to, and Goose now going into for the clear again. They might find something, but no, they back away and try and stabilize. A weird moment there for Geek to try and chase instead of pressure Onyx, instead of pulling them towards a turret maybe to, force them to defend it. They just went on and just start trying to hunt for kills.
Yeah, that was value for Onyx though in the defense. They are going to lose his mid-side turret, but that's like the best case scenario for Onyx. They understand that Sans is one of the main core damage dealers, especially with that new item he picked up over there. And that's what they went for.
Final flash actually brings Luke back to the Mystic Gush. Another realm pop in fear of a full commitment from Onyx. A good disengage from Geek Fam. Looked very scary. Kyrie dashing forward, gets a taunt onto Beloyski. A wild charge defensively. Ooh. And now shredded down by CW. Blazing duet with the battle mirror image as well. Beloyski forced to flicker around with the conceal now. Keyboy still hovering over, looking for Blair's brute slashes a boy, but will be traded back by Hazel with a Decimate. CW is able to siege down that tier 1.
So a boots for a tower, essentially.
And a boy. But a boy comes back a lot faster, but now you can see that they have momentum here. But Geek doesn't even care. They just rush straight for the Lord. Can they force another fight right here, right now? As CW tries to rotate in, and he might not make it in time.
Kyrie's 13.
Yes. Walking up. Duke, very, very low. Kyrie with a retribution! That's what we've been expecting from the man, and he does it. He comes in on time. Unlike the Avatar, when the world needed him most, he actually appeared.
When the moment gets tough, that's where he delivers.
That caught me off guard. But I agree. I mean, right before that even begun, I mentioned Kyrie was level 13, 2 levels behind of Hazel, but was still able to get that retribution, steal it under the nose of Geek Fam, and that is Onyx coming back with the momentum swing. Notice Geek Fam's gold.
It's already fallen behind from Onyx.
Exactly.
And if you look at it, right, They didn't manage the waves at all before they rushed straight for that Lord, trying to force that play. So now Onyx, they're getting a lot of value here. They might even get a base turret. They're waiting for it, and they have better siege due to that board. This is when now this pick starts shining through.
Lord with a big charge into the base turret. Onyx looking for that siege. One more hit with the Lord, and they are going to be able to secure the top lane of base turret. Now looking for more. A boy doing a good job at micromanaging the wave in the mid lane, clearing it out, and I'm offended as well from Luke. And they will only lose one base turret for now. Another minion wave will be spawning. Can Onyx actually get more from this?
The question is, do they want to? You can see Onyx going to rotate to get that buff away from Hazel. Kyrie's actually going to get it, so Hazel doesn't have his orange buff just yet.
Ooh, another taunt in, and my goodness, Luke flickered out of the Netherrealm that a boy had placed out to save him, and he loses his life because he's off position to save Luke. Oh my god, a disaster for Geek Fam. Onyx now looking for even more to punish.
Just one mistake. Just one mistake gives Geek Fam another problem here. One inhibitor taken down, one left standing. So even if Onyx don't end it here and now, they are going to have the advantage in it, but let's go.
Final slash, purified in, Keyboy still able to sustain just a bit. CW having a good time free hitting that turret with the help of these frontliners. Sans with a Mystic Gush over to a boy, and we do have a pause again. Apologies for the inconvenience, ladies and gentlemen. Please do be patient with us. For now, we're still going to have to see how this game plays out. We could use a break. We could use a break.
You could hear the audience like, oh,
yeah.
Because we're getting to the good part. Will Onyx end it right here, right now, or will they have to wait for the next Lord?
I think they will wait for the next Lord because, you know, Geek, some might not remember, but they have a reputation for being able to turtle and defend the base like the best.
Yeah.
Right? I think last season there were multiple matches where they just like held on and like dragged the game out to the late game. But man, that fight right there.
Evil's Glory against Alter Ego. I think that was the first day, the opening match. It was Evil's with the better index, but Alter Ego just kept winning.
Yeah.
You know, it's an example.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing shade. It's an example.
It's an example. No, the reason I'm smiling is because if I remember correctly, I think all the positive lineup ratings have lost.
Oh really?
Yeah. But this game, I actually think, yeah, I mean, this one might be accurate, like in my opinion, because Geek Fam do have a lot of winning lanes, and it's a solid lineup. But for the most part, yeah, it has actually been not the best rating system to use to determine who's going to win. Maybe because it's more of an execution battle over the draft now.
I agree. I think I would say that is.
But for the Alter Ego match, I disagree with the index. It was Joy Angela and a Nolan Harith come in like that one's just inaccurate.
That's just a tough one. But look at the stats though. Talking about inaccuracies, it says that Onyx lineup has the better late game potential, and I have mentioned it already. They do have the Gourd, they do have the Claude. So now in the late game potential, it's all about the Netherrealm and how they utilize it. If they get it good, they can win.
That's if we even get to the late game, Arashi.
I think we're
so
there.
let's jump into the land of Dawn here. Oh, what happened? Okay, so they're going straight for the Lord take here.
Oh my god, melted down, wild charge, battle mirror image, and even the Mystic Gush, forcing Beloy to flicker out to safety. No wild charge, but also no Mystic Gush for Sans. Big damage out of the fray. Hazel, Mortal Coil, Final Slash. We can move back to the back. I'm offended. Oh, he is able to find Sans in the back and now forces him to flicker out. Chidera finds Keyboy. Kyrie's still able to find the retribution, but the boy shuts Sans down in the back. 3v5. Luke looking for the flank right now as Kyrie's still able to dash out, but that's going to be it. Brought back to the team, but only to get on the Praiser's Wrath onto the Fairness. Another I'm offended on the CW who's still going to be able to pop the Purify to back away again with
Lord.
the BMI. The Lord is spawned, and it is marching slowly into the mid lane. Hazel is trying to stop Onyx from stopping the recalls. Luke, don't run Wolfgang Brave the Spider to slash him out. Beloyski, a good barrier in place. Chidera has already walked all the way back, and the boy has recalled as well. Luke, somehow, some way, able to walk out and run away from those three members, and Geek Fam come out, still able to defend.
That was too close for my comfort. I understand what Geek Fam were trying to do. They were trying to get Onyx off the board, clear the Lord, and then maybe go for a straight push. But Onyx was able to extend the amount of time, and actually, that was nearly chaos and disaster for Geek Fam.
Plays in the wet, another round coming down though. Boots very, very low. Luke still able to sustain quite a bit right now. Genera is actually going to be free hitting. Appraiser's Wrath onto 3. Kyrie still surviving, but it's a flicker forward into the mystic gush of Sands. Double kill picked up for the man as Bloisky now loses his immortality, pops into conceal. Haza and Genera still micromanaging the waves. Now another wave coming down. CW's free hitting in the back. Bloisky is trying his best to stop this from happening, but CW stays targeted. And this is your winning moment presented to you by Samsung Galaxy S24 Series 5G. Onic with Game 1 comeback.
The victors of our first game in this best of 3 series, with Geek Fam being able to control that early to mid tempo, Onic coming back. I seriously thought that this was Geek Fam's game to win.
They were so close, man. So only a few small moments led Onic to snatch away that victory. And man, what a decisive call. You know, I like how Geek Fam is also so decisive. They see something.
What's the last ban for Onic? Is it Paramis? No. It's Valentina. Is it Valentina?
Yeah, apologies again, ladies
Okay,
and
it's
gentlemen. It is
Valentina.
Valentina.
Yeah. Just to confirm, the last ban for Onic is Valentina. They're trying to limit the choices here for a boy in the mid lane with the Paramis taken out. They're gonna go for a Barrett and a Nana. Alright, that's the debut of Nana. Personally, as a Nana player, I'm very happy to see it on the competitive stage. But Onic will come back and answer that with a Yuzong last pick.
Wow, a lot of dive, good laner against the Arlet, but it's gonna be the Ruby in the XP. Yo, Rashi, why haven't we seen Nana at all? Like, this is the first Nana pick / ban of Season 13.
I think the Nana became a bit more vulnerable once they removed the movement speed buff when you turn into the Molina, right? That means that you're invulnerable, but then you're very easily caught up. So it only really works when your team isn't planning on moving backwards, right? And that is exactly what I think Geek Fam are looking at. They want the crowd control, they want the AoE damage to match up Onic in those big team fights, but they don't plan on kiting backwards the same way Onic does. So this is going to be, once again, a forward-moving composition. And looking at the ratings, though, this time, Onic is winning on most of the fronts. Is this a sign, Mirko?
Let's see if it is a sign. We're gonna see the wings of freedom of MPL Indonesia in Season 13. Garuda! That's our national bird. As he takes us into the LOD, the Land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Can the Porcupine spike down the Big Geek Boys? Or will the Big Geek Boys come back and force a third game from the Porcupines? Or will we have to delay it just a bit? Because climax, we have to wait, you know, just like the movie, Dune 1, Dune 2, we gotta wait for Dune 3.
All right.
I haven't watched Dune 2.
Same, haven't even watched Dune 1 properly. So.
What? It's so good.
Is it?
May your blade
But-
chip and shatter.
Anyway,
I have no idea what that means.
Anyway, what Mirko is trying to say, with big games and good games, we need suspense.
Right. I mean,
Right?
good things
We're
come.
building suspense
Good things comes to those who wait.
Yeah. So we get a tour
of the Land of Dawn.
of the Land of Dawn. As you can
Here
see
we
here,
are.
this is the base. This is where people spawn in the game.
Okay, and then where are we going now?
Well, we're going
turret.
to the top lane.
What's the name of the creep there?
What?
What's the name of the creep?
Which creep?
That creep.
This is the Barong.
Saved by the bell. Dear, dear Mirko.
Belt by
Like
the
Tyson
saves.
Fury.
That's a very specific reference, Mirko.
All right.
I don't see the Bakiro in the game, so I'm not sure if we can do that. But man, the Yuzong in the hands of Boots is really growing into that dive role here. That's usually a playstyle we see Luke do, but now against Luke, Boots is stepping up, trying to do the exact same thing.
Because they do need an answer, right, to the back line of Geek Fam. I think yesterday, was it yesterday when Luke picked up the Yuzong? I think people
Yeah,
were
he
like,
did.
oh, Yuzong,
Against
not
Bigatron.
meta, bad EXP.
Against Brody.
There you go. But, like, it was still really good.
I mean,
It's really good dive.
Black Dragon form, Patrify. The fact that you can be dominant in the lane and still have a lot of pressure in the team fights,
Yeah,
I think that's
that's
what
it.
really makes a good EXP laner. That's a pattern you see with the Lapu Lapu. Technically, it's a pattern you see with the CC as well. It's all these heroes that can be sorted in the lane, can be aggressive, win the 1v1 duels, survive 1v2 ganks even, have good mobility, but even in the fight, have AoE crowd control maybe, or here in that department.
And looking at the other side, right? A boy on the Nana goes for the flicker. So despite all the CC coming in from Onyx, he's still confident enough to go in for that spell, but Hazel's confident in this.
Oh, nom nom nom. Detona's welcome, Hazel. First blood picked up by Samsung Galaxy. What a great gank there.
Great awareness from Hazel to just hold on and channel that ultimate, wait for Boots to really use all his cards and then go in. Kyrie though trying and counter with the aggression, but nothing really big happening just yet. Looking at the mid lane, both taking magic penetration Boots. They're trying to get for some early damage here. Might be contesting for this turtle. I do think it does favor Onyx though. Geek might want to be a bit careful here.
I think it comes down to that level 4 power spike, right? Boots is a bit behind. Kyrie though, a good gang into the Petrified Furious dive, but Luke is still able to actually flicker out. Did he get the tough boots already? Yeah, he did. Wow. Super fast tough boots to get out of that position of the CC.
But here we are, both of the junglers going to be getting their eyes on the next neutral objective. Turtle, half health.
Black Dragon form into the back, no Petrified for Boot. He is doing a good job at zoning, and my goodness, Sanchez the lead. Beloyski, but Kyrie is very, very low. Has to reset the turtle. It's a nom up with the Detona's welcome, but Keyboy gets spat out now with the power of nature. He wants to go for a big smack onto Hazel, a wall as well. And the tree wins out against the dinosaur.
Beautiful execution by Onyx there. Gonna be able to zone out the members of Geek Fam as well as get Hazel out of the board completely, even though Kyrie was already very low on health in that earlier parts of the game.
The two big fighters, man, Fredrin and Yu Zong, is just such a nightmare, especially when you just hit level 4. That Black Dragon form definitely scattered Geek Fam away. And even though Kyrie was so low, it was looking a bit sketchy there for just a bit, but his team was able to just zone everyone out. And like we mentioned earlier, looking at some of the emblems here, it's Concussive Blast for Kyrie in the jungle. More clear on these tanky fighting heroes these days. And for Boots, the Quantum Charge, but still, the Rupture for more damage and the Festival of Blood for a decent amount of sustain. So trying to get some movement speed and a mix of sustain at the same time.
Walled, oh my god, not just walled. Beloyski got deleted. That's a whole lot of burst, man. Oh my god. Did not expect that damage.
You know what? Yeah, I was about to say, I think Sans is going for the cooldown build because we took a look at the emblems and it wasn't Wilderness Blessing as the second sub emblem, and then you saw just now that he picked up the Enchanted Talisman, so it's a Vexana Sans special.
We'll see if he goes to the Fleeting Time, because sometimes they go for the Enchanted Talisman into a glowing one. That's a popular build that a lot of players in the MPL, especially MPL ID, has been building so far. So we'll see if he builds through with that, but for now, Onyx has a lot of damage, a lot of crowd control, and sometimes we barely get to finish our sentences before someone from Geek Fam gets sniped out. Especially now that their roamer doesn't really have an escape tool, they have to be very careful here, especially walking towards the bushes.
Okay, let's take a look at the players' gold here. CW still #1 on the charts, followed by Sans. Chadera a bit behind in that lane. That was supposedly a winning lane for the carry.
Almost like CW just learned from game #1, and now he knows, okay, I can't win in trades, maybe I'll farm somewhere else, I do something different, and he's really working well in this second game as the turtle spawns. Once again, Onyx try and control, but look at the flank coming from Beloyski here, puts Onyx in a weird spot.
Look at the burst down though, Boy's already super low, and Boots is flying on the way to him under the turret as well. Has the passive, gets up, but Kyrie wins out in the retreat battle. Beloyski, what 1v4 in the mid lane, no follow-up. There is a wild charge, oh no! The Nana gets deleted under the turret, and now it might be even more bleak as Luke is forced to flicker out. Another burst damage coming down from CW, but he's still able to sustain out with the Brave Smite. My lord, Onyx just takes control of the situation with every single small mistake the Geek Fam makes.
Darren needs to be careful there in the bottom lane for a rotation, but can you imagine the physics of the wild charge into a Nana? That must hurt.
Yeah, he's so much bigger, man. I'm surprised it even lands. Considering how small the Nana is. Like Keyboy, he doesn't care, man. He knows he lands those. And now, Geek, if you're a boy right here, you gotta be so concerned, man, because you thought that okay, they used one ultimate for me. There's no way they use one more, right? But that's exactly what Onyx just does. And as Geek try and go for another pick-off here, they seem to be severely limited by the movement speed, man. They're no longer as mobile, especially Hazel on the Barats. He was able to secure his own red against Kyrie earlier, but he is just struggling to be in the right spot right here in every single fight.
What's his level now? Level 8 compared to Kyrie at 9. So he's not as maneuvery. Is that a word? Maneuvery? Okay,
Maneuver?
successful.
Let's go with that. Maneuver.
As he was on the Martis in the first game. But look at this. Kyrie looking to punish Beloyski.
Oh no, he's already died 3 times. The final slash, and he just gets bopped by Sans. 4th death this game. Ranger Amas in the Indo desk would usually be saying, "What are you doing, Baloy?"
I mean, it's brutal, right? 6 minutes in, only almost 7, but it's already a 1-7. A 3,000 gold gap in the first 7 minutes of the game. CW was doing good under pressure, and when he was dominated by Chidera, but look at him now. He's getting the towers on the bottom side. He's getting to that power spike much, much quicker than in game number 1. Geek, they're losing control over this entire game.
The foot is definitely on the other shoe, man. But now for Onyx, they're going to go for the objective as always. Calm, clean, calculated. And Geek is just nowhere near ready to try and get anything here. And they let it go. There's not much they can do as Boots picks up a War Axe as well. Even more ways for Onyx to just chase them and run down Geek under the safety of their own turrets and base.
And that's a problem. Like, what are they supposed to do, right? If they want to go for a 50-50, they're already, what, 4K behind? And obviously Hazel is behind on levels as well against Kyrie. I guess that's something great, but
A failed attempt of an initiation. Beloyski with a flicker. Final slash earlier, not connecting CW now. Just chunking damage. Beloy very low. Luke doing the same thing right now, trying to run away, but Boots catches him. Finds the passive. Daytona's welcome into the mouth, but now it's Hazel. It's called the wild charge with a flicker to the back. Finds a boy. Flickers back to safety, and now it's Chidera who's forced to run away. Sans wants to get that Terrify down. He finds the Terrify. No Eternal Guard, just a bit more poke, and Chidera will be able to walk out of this, but the turrets in the mid lane certainly won't be able to.
2-4-0 trade, a turret taken down, Onyx getting everything that they asked for here in game number 2, and it's not necessarily them going out of their way. It's the counter-engage that they've been able to successfully do against Geek Fam's failed attempts time and time again.
They just have more options, right? If they fail their engage, they have chances to do something else, just like that. But even if it works, then great. If it doesn't work, they have the Wild Charge, they have the Black Dragon form, so a lot of flexibility in how they approach these fights. And you can see a boy just struggling, man. We thought this Nana pick was going to be big with the Molina, with the crowd control, but he is struggling to figure out when and where he's supposed to use these spells.
And according to the game fun fact, if Geek Fam actually lose this, they're gonna still... Nana is still gonna be sitting at a 0% win rate since MPL ID season, what? 10? 8? Wow, that sucks.
2021.
Oof. Man.
Throwback.
Throwback. Well, Eterna, by the way, we have our answer. It's a Lightning Truncheon into possibly a Glowing Wand here. Sand is going for all that damage, all the burst, knowing that for the most part, he's not targeting the front lines, right? CW has that on lock. He's targeting the back lines. He's trying to get that burst damage to help with the pick-off potential, with the threat. So, Lightning Truncheon it is. And Geek are just stuck turtling, even though, honestly, they don't really have the best of high ground wave clear either. So they are just stuck waiting for a chance that Onyx just is not giving to them.
So still respectful. No fleeting time.
Nope.
From Sans.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, at least.
Right as their momentum got derailed in game 1, it almost feels like they completely lost like their mental game, man. Game 2, it just feels like a stomp, and it feels like maybe they're tilted again. Luke, I think, has missed more I'm offended than he has hit this game so far. Beloy, the one big brain play could save them. It did get Sans, and oh my god, a boy with a flicker forward. 0-5-0. Beloy.
Is he waiting for that buff? We'll have to see, man.
0-10 power spike.
But a boy, man, that's a lot of damage on the Nana. That's why it's somewhat valid, and Sans just wasn't ready right there. Now without the Vexana, will Onyx still try and make something happen? It is possible, it's just a lot risky, but they back away.
Yeah, that's going to be the Lord cleared out here by Geek Fam with minor casualties, you can say. It looked like Chidera picked up the Golden Staff and CW finally with the Malefic Roar. Between these two carries from both of the teams, where is it leaning towards more?
who's doing more damage in the fights.
Who will be, yes.
Who will be? I believe it's still going to be CW. But when it comes to the moments before the fight breaks out, that's where Sans really shines, man. And I feel like, me personally, I don't think the Vexana is used mainly for damage. The damage is always very, very nice. But the utility, like when you put down the Eternal Guard, when you try and go for the Terrifies, that is what really makes a Vexana pick that much more effective.
Yeah, the utility coming in from Sans, right? Which is why maybe that's why he sees the Enchanted Talisman a little bit more valuable as compared to going full out damage. But here, if you guys play and you guys find lag, don't forget to use the max booster. Because I hate lag. Do you hate lag?
I hate lag, man. Maximize your connection with Game Max, and also maximize your time. Make it efficient. That's the word that Eterna really likes earlier. With the 15,000 discount with Click Indomart, you can just click Indomart 15 and click your groceries very easily.
And improve your finances.
That's what Geek are trying to do right now. They're trying to use all the promo codes that they have to try to get out of this debt. 8,000.
It's a big debt.
Well, they need to be energized first, so it starts with coffee. Go get your point, coffee. That's the point.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
Well, we'll see. But, you know, another big
7
issue.
out of 10.
7 out of 10? Oh, a big issue for Geek right now, by the way, is usually the Molina is a great deterrent tool. You can leave it on the ground, people walk away from it, they can't really check. But since Onyx has the Grok, right, he can just walk through it and ignore it. So it's almost like one extra tool denied from Geek. And you can see a boy as Luke and Beloyski just look for a chance to try and start a fight properly, right, without paying the price of a huge counter engage or a half an HP bar, for instance.
This is so risky. But here you go.
Well, charged Luke, gonna be knocked up and terrified down. Sans bursts him out, and even Beloyski follows through with 6 death in his game right now as Boots is just zoning a boy in Chadera, isolating the dinosaur. No, they're already extinct! And still they want to take him out. A killing spree for Kyrie. 3-0 in the trade.
And there's absolutely no way that Geek Fam can go for a contest on this. I mean, it was already looking bleak to begin with. Hazel 2 levels behind of Kyrie. But Onyx had to pull that out behind the engage that Keyboy was able to make. That's going to be a free Lord for Onyx in the 14th minute of the game.
A clean engage. He didn't even use the flicker there. I thought it was going to be an attempt towards the backline. But no, he just thought, if I can get 2 members, just 2 members, I can make sure that the fight does break out and we can get at least a pick-off. And I think that he went for it so suddenly, so urgently, because the wave was pushing on the top side. Onyx did lose a turret, but off the back of that sequence of plays, they have made it completely worth it. And with the Lord marching down right now, take a look at the items where a boy's Nana has that Divine Glaive power spike. He's going to have a lot of burst damage, but he needs to find ways for the spells to land, right? Wait for a setup, and Onyx is making it very difficult for that to happen.
Definitely. I think range is a little bit of a problem for Nana, especially going against these heavy engage heroes like Keyboy on the Grok, so that's difficult. I mean, look at that, a boy half health.
Beloyski though finds Sans, brought him back all the way. Now a few shots from the Nana. He's actually very low, but he's still able to maneuver out of it. Concealed now by Geek over to that bottom lane, trying to deal with this Lord that has charged in. It's a great defense from Geek Fam, still staying in this game. Another wave to deal with though now as Onyx marches forward again, this time with the Black Dragon form. They've already utilized a lot of their resources, Geek Fam. Luke still on cooldown, but now finally getting it back with that Ammo Fended that he missed earlier on CW. And it's still Geek Fam actually doing a very good job at clearing. Well played to the Geeks.
Well, now it gets interesting. They're at an 11 close to 12k gold difference earlier, and still they're unable to crack through the base of Geek. And we know the longer the game goes, this is exactly where at least Geek used to prefer to be in, right? They can defend the base, hold as long as possible, have good high ground technically with the Nana, and they're willing to just stall this out and let Onyx take some objectives in order to just get a chance later on, waiting for the right window to turn the tides around.
How? What window though? Onyx, they're not, look at that, they're not leaving anything open. Luke misses another engage. It's fine, but what can Geek Fam do at this point? Sans makes it even worse by picking up Blood Wings. on top of all that damage already.
I think I have to wait for a big combo with the Nana, but look at Boots, man, just trying to zone, but even then, the waves gets cleared so fast.
Oh. Defensive wild charge from Onyx. I think it's a good point that you made. They need to find a window, but right now they're locked up in their base. It's almost like a prison cell, and there are no windows in a prison cell.
I wouldn't know.
Does that mean
Interesting, Rico. What kind of experience do you have?
I've never been to prison, but I've watched movies, man.
I see. That's a
I thought
great
there were
point.
like small windows in prisons.
Not
Again, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But anyway, still a 12K
He's not a
gold
convict,
lead.
guys.
I am not. Arashi is also not.
What do you wait? What?
That'll be weird.
I feel left out here. What do you mean? You guys aren't. Am I a convict here?
Might be. The Lord now is spawning, so Onyx, they crafted put Boots in a position to flank. We'll see if that pays off right here. This is what they want though. Keep them out of the base, and now they're going for it to conceal.
Oh, boy.
Dragon form, and oh! That's a 3-man! Final slash, unable to be followed up completely. Though CW gets stunned in the back, but it's not going to be enough right now as Bloisky jumps up with the vengeance right now. The transform, CW's low into nature, popped in just in time. The Eternal Guard to peel Bloisky, falling Boots with a 2-man on that furious dive, knocks him up. Now brought back by the missiles. Chidera holding it down, terrified, and poked in that choke point. Luke is able to get the vision down, and apparently the Lord has been reset. CW's back on it though with Kyrie. 1-4-0, but Onyx had lower HP bars. They have to send some of their members back again, and now it's a reset for that Lord.
Kyrie's half health here. It looks like he's getting that healing back up. 13 seconds left for Beloyski to spawn. And look at this, they're trying to blitz the Lord.
Black Dragon form now with a wild charge on the 2 members, and an Eternal Guard to knock him up even longer. 2 retributions, but it's Kyrie who times it better. And in the Lord pit, it is Hazel who falls in the back. It is a boy. Chidera is forced back, dashes out to safety. Beloy pops in that conceal, and they are alone. 2 members now having to face 5 members from Onyx and a Lord.
Against all odds, against the entire world here, Beloyski and Chidera, the final ones. It looks like CW is going to be able to break that inhibitor in the bottom side, but what?
A final slash, a desperate one at that as Chidera pops in over to nature. He's able to get CW low enough, the immortality, but now he gets knocked up, wall down, and that should be it. Geek Fam clean swept by Onyx in their rematch.
Wow. In the grand finals, it was a 4-2 MPLI 2022, 3-2 reverse sweep. In both instances, it was Onyx winning it out, and it looks like it's the exact same flavor today in their first matchup at MPLID Season 13.
Reaffirming again the tiers in dominance. Onyx just showed once again why they are not to be trifled with. And Gig, unfortunately, after a great start in game number 1, they're forced to pay the price, man, having everything denied from them. Positioning, the map control, the Lord Dance. Nothing was given to them by Onyx. That will result in a brutal finish for the Sky Kings.
Absolutely brutal. My goodness. 3rd to 4th, and then MBL Indonesia Scene 4. So he's been very consistent. By the way, fun fact, before he joined Aura Kusena, he was actually in Aura Blaze, the MDL team for Aura. So it kind of is an interesting matchup here against his technically old team, but he did play an MPL, only played MDL, right? Other than that though, Bruno and Claude, they're trying to really force out this Brody. I think they are going to have someone that can dive in the back, someone like a Cho. That's what they're trying to set up for Yaoi. They're probably going to pick up a jungle now, something like a Fredrin, and then they'll pick up the Cho later if Skylar decides to go for the Brody.
I think I like that. That was one of my questions as well. I was like, why Bruno over Brody?
Yeah.
So if they're setting up for that, could Baratz work, or does it have to be Fredrin?
Oh my god, it's Yaoi's mom!
Oh, wow!
And Indo all the way from the Philippines. Shout out to W Mom support here for Yaoi.
Hi, Mom.
That's so...
Hi,
I mean Yaoi's mom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Typo.
That was insane. Well, let's hope that Yaoi can perform right now, make a show happen. Because so as of right now, it seems like they're going for a lot of card control, and they have denied the Martis and the Grok all the card control immunities that come to mind. But for Aura, they offer the Akai, another option that can cancel out the crowd control, but that's a very long cooldown skill compared to the Moral Coil and the Power of Nature. So let's see if RRQ just goes for this like pick off heavy strat.
I think it's a safe option to go for, right? No Martis, anti-CC, so he can go for... Let's see if okay, he goes for the Clint. Now this is where it all comes down to Aura. It all comes down to what they think. They were trying to bait out the Brody. The Clint showed up, so no Brody, but they still want to force the Cho.
Man, the Cho, huh?
Yeah.
Is there a potential for us to see another like Cho Roam split push situation right here? Because the team fight is looking absolutely brutal, man. I'm not sure if I would want to participate in any kind of team fight against RRQ's composition right now.
I don't know. I mean, with Clint, is Cho still a viable option to go for? It's not as simple anymore against the Clint.
Right, against any kind of mobility, the Cho will definitely have some struggles. The fact that there's built-in crowd control as well.
Yeah, that.
And crazy peel. Remember, there's a Minotaur export Barat's Vexana.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't go for it.
Tigreal though. Wow, okay.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The final form of both of these teams. Carry, Nova, Paquito, Kai. Okay, how are these side lanes looking?
The side lanes, the carry we've seen be very successful, especially
Against Clint,
in the laning
even?
phase. I do think that maybe she won't be able to bully the Clint, but she can definitely last in the lane without getting bullied out of the lane too often. And on the other side, it's a Paquito against an X-Borg. I think that one's a bit tougher. Because, you know, we all know how annoying an X-Borg can be, and that could be where RRQ are trying to make plays happen. Because the jungle, it's a Barats. It's not that kind of mobile, playmaking kind of hero. At least not in the early game. If you look at the scores right here, 6.0 lineup rating for RRQ, but Aura, they have the better counter rating. So we'll see if that stat once again indicates anything, Mirko.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to see the Kingdom up against the Dragons. Will they still be the King Slayers, Aura, from Season 10, or will the Kingdom rise up with their shoulders to go and slay the Dragons?
That's the question. That is the ultimate question here. And this is going to be the first time we see RQ Hoshi back at MPL ID Season 13. And it looked like you're right. I mean, you brought up to the point of the indexes, right? It felt like early game to mid, RQ. Late game, RQ. So where does Aura come into play here, as Yaoi's getting heavily punished here with the damage coming in from Octa and Brusco?
I think the only real advantage Aura will have is if they go for again a split push situation, and now they have an Akai, they have a Tigreal, they have a carry, all very mobile, all with slows of their own, and they have the Novaria to try and help with the scouting, with the poking as well. It doesn't seem like it's a team fight composition, but if they're not careful and RRQ gets ahead, then they will be the one dictating where the fights happen, and if there's going to be any space to even start split pushing.
All right. Right here already marching down in the bottom side. Skylar, is he going to get it?
Arashi, no purifies at all for both teams.
But that's a very bold maneuver, because there's still a great chance that Aura can actually go for a big engage with the Tigreal, with the Akai as well. There's a lot of ways they can flank with the Paquito even. So for RRQ to not bring any purifies, that's definitely a bold maneuver. But they do have a Minotaur, and they do have the X-Borg that can kind of scout out and be that sacrificial hero. So maybe that they're thinking that, okay, we can get away without doing it, but it might cost them.
Let's hope, right? Because on paper, it sounds easier said than done, but if Aura Fire is able to make things messy, that's where an RRQ can actually be faced with a problem here. Irad already on the turtle against Gugun. They're both at the same level.
Heavy spin ready, Denton is welcome, but it's Gugun who wins it out with the heavy spin. Now bringing Rad all the way back right now. Yaoi's gonna be able to find an implosion on the two. Bringing it back again with a knockup. Octa flickers forward. Oh, Aran with a dive to the back and a knockout strike that knocks two out, and even more in that mid lane river. A 1-for-1. Aran still looking for Irad. It was as he was over chasing Yaoi. Yehezkiel helping him out, but a dinosaur is a bit too tanky. And for Aura, they'll just walk out with a big victory.
Man, what a terrible outcome for RRQ right there. They have the fighters, they have all the tools, right? The combo, the level 4 power spike, and the extra manpower from the Eternal Guard. And yet they get flanked and their backline just gets decimated. And that is just not how you want this early game to play out. Looking at the emblems right here, a lot of vitalities on the side of RRQ. So they're attempting to withstand a lot of punishment. But then afterwards, I think you have to look at Skylar with the Rupture, with the Weapon Mastery and the Quantum Charge. He's fully intending to just scale up and delete all the members of Aura later on in the game with those items.
That's the thing, right? If Aura Fire can make things messy for RRQ, that's when they shine. Talent prediction, I did not go for Aura though.
Oh,
I went RRQ 2-1.
I also didn't go for Aura.
Really?
Liar.
No,
You
I
went
did,
for Aura.
because-
You're getting called out on live television.
That means, you know, the other side. Anyways, for Aura, is Aran finally Araning? Did he finally find the angle to attack?
Well, that flank from Oran was definitely devastating, so RRQ will definitely be looking to try and counter that in the next fight. But for now, it's still pretty even. It seems like both teams are just kind of farming around, waiting for the next play. And in a way, that kind of benefits Aura, because they have a combo of their own. They have the Akai for the neutral objective secure, and they have the Novaria for when things are not static or dynamic, rather, in the lanes.
Aura's already setting up here. I remember Irad has had an amazing performance on the Retributions, but with Gugun and his heavy spin, I wonder if he can make that a little bit more favorable to his odds.
He needs a time to death as welcome. Brusco with a flicker early. Their heavy spin going to be used up, but Octa is the one who wins it with the Eternal Guard. Now is the implosion onto 2-0-3 with the help of the Astral Echo hitbox. 3-man knockup, but it's Yaoi who ends up dying. Aran as well. Now jumping on the Dawn. A good flicker out from the knockout strike as he gets sniped down. Aran flickers out to safety in that bush. Very low. Gets a double jab to get out, and Aura are able to get something back at least in that team fight.
That was a back and forth situation right there, but fortunately for RRQ, Octa of all people secures a turtle. You have to wonder how that's going to play out in the next turtle fight, but once again, they're showing that the combo does exist, and if everyone clumps up like that, if they're not caught off guard with a big flank, then they have success. But Skylar is going to get chunked out, and that's going to be a recurring pattern, so his team better prepare for that.
Yeah, Syndrome or Yehez's skill has been quite on point with those meteors, man. Earlier on, he was able to get a kill. Now being able to make Skylar sweat a little bit in that gold lane, but that was a good performance coming from Octa, I think.
For sure. I mean, Staying the Turtle definitely swung the balance even further towards his team, but now Brusco is getting pushed away. It seems like Aura are going all in on this play. Can RRQ counter it though?
Yeah, no flicker on Brusco, so there's no real threat of that initiation over, and they are able to utilize this range advantage for Yehezkiel to constantly just poke. Gugun securing that gold buff, getting level 9 here as we are approaching the last turtle. The rat poke down, not going to utilize the Detona's welcome yet.
You have to take notice about the itemization though. Brusco seems to have rushed the Flask of the Oasis. It's going to be massive in the next skirmish, next objective contest, next team fight. Unless Aura can try and burn out that passive before the the turtle even spawns. 5 seconds to go, and it seems like Aura does have the map control for it.
We'll see. Both junglers again, same level, same odds right now. But Yaoi,
Flicker instantly, no hesitation, even to cancel on the jump. Brusco though, 2-man Minions Fury right now, so the heavy spin is going to be able to pin Octa down for Aran to deal enough damage to take him down. Now Yaoi caught in the last insanity, going to be burnt down and melted. Kabuki in the back with the ultimate, forcing Skylar to get out, and Aran is able to execute. Now Skylar, no flicker, he used it earlier. Kabuki able to maneuver away from it. Aran bringing Irad back, no Detonas, welcome to save him now, and it's Kabuki who they give the gold to. It's a free turtle and an all-out win for the Dragons.
wow, turtle slain here by Gugun, making Irad a complete non-factor in that neutral objective trade. As it looks like Aura Fire going in. Aura with the flanks.
My lord, Eternal Guard from Octa, though, the famous baits that we were hyping right before the game, and he does it again against Aran.
I was just about to say that the Aran effect is in full effect, but then he gets taken out. Now that's a bit more momentum for RRQ, but they cannot take fights like that, man. They usually get ahead when they're the ones who are aggressing, when they're the ones who dictate what happens. Right there, Yaoi just took control over from RRQ and just wrestled it away for his team. That can be the main setting point. Brusco maybe might have to be a bit more aware, might be more prepared to just instantly counter-engage on that, because otherwise, it's looking to be the same situation again.
Right now, Iran just picked up the Malefic Roar. So when he goes in for those backdoor engages that looked a little hasty earlier on, it actually might just work with the amount of damage and penetration he now has. And I think he was riding the wave on that euphoria.
For sure. If he can get that full damage build and be an absolute menace, one-shot in the backline, RRQ, they're very backline reliant, man. The frontliners have a lot of utility built in, but not the best of damage. And to make things worse, Yeskiel has finished his Lightning Truncheon, so if the backline gets hit by the Astral Sphere, that's nothing to scoff at. As we take a closer look at the items right here, already a Heptases and an Endless Battle built in for Skylar though. So against the backline, again, if he can get to them, that's a lot of true damage, that's a lot of burst. But Kabuki himself already has a Thunderbelt, and he's going for the Golden Staff already, so that passive is gonna shred the front line even more, even though Irad already has an Anti-Cuirass.
This is the first time we've actually seen Clint being played at MPL ID Season 13. And him being so far behind Kabuki, 1,000 gold. Is he still a viable pick, Clint?
I think it depends on the situation, because he is behind, but so is the rest of the team, right? It's not really a fair judgment to just, write off the hero just because, the game isn't going in their way. Was it the late game damage though, where the AoE might swing the damage numbers in favor of Skylar compared to Kabuki, that single target?
And both of these teams, they're now focusing on the next neutral objective. That Lord is very low.
Implosion onto 2, Yaoi, beautifully done. Aran in the back as well. It's only Irad out front to use the Detsuna's welcome for the anti-CC, but it still loses out to the rectory of Gugun. In MDL, his name was King Gugun, and he's certainly showing that king that he has removed from his name.
He's trying to show that king factor against the kings. That is poetic. And man, you keep talking about Aran, but look at what he did in that previous fight, man. He came in, he just found a path through the jungle. And for RRQ, they gotta start rationing the crowd control, man. They use a lot of the spells already to try and get a lead, get an advantage in the setup. But then when they use everything, including the Terrify that Octa has in that Vexana, that's where Aran strikes. He knows that the peeling tools have been expended.
I thought it was a preemptive move though by Octa, bringing down the Eternal Guard just as the implosion hit.
I think the Eternal Guard being put early on works, but then the first skill he needs to save, or vice versa. If he wants to use the first skill, then he needs to save the Eternal Guard, because otherwise, what are you going to do when someone jumps on you?
That's true,
You just
that's
have to
true.
walk backwards.
Alright, non-factor. And now Aura, they're sitting at a 6,000 gold lead. A Lord is marching down in the top side, going to be cleared down very quickly by Skylar. But it looks like Aura Fire is going to be able to get that mid-side turret.
You're able to get 2 tier 2s as well on the side. Don hasn't been able to really melt these frontliners down. Oh, Retri by Irad and Gugun, but it's Kabuki who gets it. Very interesting interaction there. 2 Retris and the marksman.
80 seconds to go though until the next Lord, and RRQ for the most part, now they're really feeling it. You're seeing how they're moving, right? Skylar and Octa always sticking near Brusco, just in case Aran shows up out of nowhere. So the bush control definitely favors Aura, and if RRQ tunnels too hard onto Aran, then Yaoi has a chance to make the plays happen. Gugun has a chance to get a huge pin.
And Kabuki is just going to be so free to deal out that damage. He's already #1 in gold, so he's fed 201 KDA so far on this carry. A hero that we can't really say is a comfort hero for him, right? I think.
Carry? No, I think it might be quite like it's not a bad pick for him. I think yesterday he wasn't able to pull on Bruno.
Bruno, exactly. And then Claude was his comfortable pick.
Yeah, but
he's picked up carry. So is there?
if you remember
improvement?
SBS,
Oh, true.
he did outplay Blacklist
true,
with
true, true.
the
Carry.
carry. So again, when I'm thinking about the carry, it's kind of like conflicting right now. I don't know if it is
You're
a
right.
comfort pick. We have seen him perform on it. So far, he is performing on it. We'll see the outcome of this game.
I think it's safe to say that he knows his way around the hero, but whether or not it's a signature pick, I think you have to wait and see, especially with it rising now in the meta. It wasn't nearly as popular back then, a couple seasons ago. Now with the Lord back up, Aura just has all the setup advantage right there. Already controlling the bush, and this is where the Novaria, like we said earlier, can just check out everyone. Oh,
Irad walks up, Daytona's welcome. Oh, he does not get it though. He gets knocked up and shredded instead. Now Brusco pinned down. Octa's trying to save him. Puts in the Eternal Guard, doesn't connect. Yaoi still has the implosion, still has the flicker. But RRQ, they disengage instantly. They know what was coming for them.
They tried. They were pinned to a wall. And that was what they went for. They tried to go for 50-50 steal. But the fact is, Irad was 2 levels below Gugun at that point. So it was very unlikely.
It's a desperate steal attempt. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Now with the Lord, Aura has a lot of sieging potential and a lot of ways to fake out and engage and bait out spells from RRQ. And if RRQ bites on it, then that could really be the end of it. This early on, I think it is still possible.
Octa just picked up the Divine Glaive though.
It just means a lot more damage, especially for the front line. Before, it's only Skylar and Octa that... it's only the front line that can really absorb it, but now even the front lines are gonna feel that sting a lot more.
They successfully defended that inhibitor turret. Another wave is crashing though. Dawn, I don't think he's gonna be able to clear that out as fast as he wants to. So it does fall to the hands of Aura.
The fact that
free one.
That earlier on, like, Dawn was sacrificing himself a lot for the better of the team again and again, means that he is quite far behind, man. Usually we see an X-Borg and he can just stay in the front, be a bit more risky, and be kind of impudent with his positioning, but not Dawn. Seems like he's, at every turn, just punished for moving up and forced to back away constantly.
What do you think about his performance so far, actually?
Dawn? I think he's been just doing his thing, you know, hasn't really done anything too special, but again, that's not his fault. I feel like right now, if you look at the drafts, I've been pondering, I've been looking at the whole like draft the last few seconds, and it just looks like an AP Bren draft, does it not? It's, well, they did get Bren, so it makes sense. So my question is now, is it an execution problem? Because this feels like a draft that we have seen many times before. The Clint in the gold lane for Super Marco, for AP Bren. The Flap TZ, XP, X-Borg as well. Let's take a look at the replay to maybe dissect if it was an execution problem, if it was a disconnect.
Well, this is just Irad going in for the steal solo, then Brusco getting stuck there, but Octa bails him out with a Terrify, zoning away with the Eternal Guard. So, if they want to make plays like that, I think it's still valid. They do have AoE combos, you know, but again, they have to be the aggressors, they have to be proactive with it, and they have to go together as a team, because one by one, that really favors Aura, because if you look at their composition, Kabuki, single target damage, Yeheskiel, for the most part, the Astrosphere, single target damage, Aran as well, so they have a lot of ways to pick up one person, but if everyone is swarming them at the same time, especially the backline, it's a lot easier said than done.
So you think it's chemistry problem from RRQ?
Ooh, an execution issue might be a problem as well. Right now we see the hand cam of King Gugun, or just Gugun now. Irad's trying to open up this space with the stack. He has those big guy stacks, but look at Dawn. No Faraga armor already, all of them revealed. And you can see Yaoi with the conceal. He's finally spotted, but it's already a Lord taken for free by Gugun. Absolutely well played in the macro division. The slow push up top, every forced error executed very well by Aura.
10,000 gold lead for Aura right now.
I feel like the only real silver lining is the fact that Skylar is one item away, and the Clint damage late game can make a big difference, but he doesn't have a Purify, and he's up against an Akai, a Paquito, and a Tigreal, right? There's so many ways that Aura can shut down RRQ if their game plan is literally just to bank on Skylar outputting damage. We'll see what happens as the Lord comes in, and Aura is managing the waves pretty well. Again, they have great siege.
Karuki, a little bit of damage in the bottom. Yaoi! With an implosion onto 3. Venus Fury onto 2 again, but Kabuki already got the space enough to burst them down. What an initiation, what a set. But it's RRQ who wins out with the backline damage dealer in Skylar. Free hitting Aran, dashes forward, it's a bait with a flicker. Now Aran baited in, but he has a flicker also to get out. Also that immortality, they've cracked open 2 base turrets, 1 left in the bottom lane. Astral Echo again onto Brusco, but RRQ have defended. Is this the power spike? Is this the turn?
There's just a big engage, but unfortunately for Yaoi, it's a 3-man implosion, but Skylar wasn't involved in that. And when they were cutting backwards, you saw Aran and Gugun just try and make the plays happen, try to build on the amazing initiation, but that's where the crowd control comes in. Octa was able to survive, and the Terrify, the knockout from the Eternal Guard, really swung the fight in favor of RRQ. So now they are closer, but they're still at an 8k gold disadvantage. So it's a great start if they were trying to mount a comeback, but there's a long way to go from here.
It's beautiful foresight. That's all I can say. That was beautiful foresight from both Skylar and Octa. Sure, Octa got caught, but he was still able to flicker out in time. And Aran will be able to get that away from Irad. That's a low blow, bro. That's a low blow.
Yeah, he was hiding in the bush, right? You would expect the boxer to just stand in front and go 50-50, but no. He's a cheeky boxer. He's a street boxer.
He's a street boxer.
Streets.
That's the Aran that all the Aura fans are just hoping to show up, right? The Aran that dares to go in risky situations, knows his exit plans, takes away resources away from RRQ. This is the Aran effect in full swing. But we'll see if that can last, though.
That's the thing. Octa just picked up a holy crystal.
Look at the damage dealt.
That's insane.
The Hess kill.
Where is Octa?
Who hurt you?
Number
Ooh,
5.
Number 5.
All the way down. At this point, he's very much utility.
It's the poke coming in from Yeheskiel, right? And he has been landing his shots. And that's the problem now for RQ. Like, just as they're trying to go for a setup, they're already caught a little low. It gets chaotic, and that's exactly what Aura Fire wants. A chaotic RRQ, something that isn't systemized to be able to land in those CC combos that Aura has.
And the big issue for RRQ right now as well is deciding who exactly is supposed to be in the front, who's supposed to get information and survive. Because I think initially it's supposed to be Dawn on the X-Borg. That's usually who we see sacrifice, but Irad has been just walking up right here, taking some damage, and he's very immobile, so this becomes a dangerous situation.
Yawi. Conceal in the back now onto Irad. Jumping forward, Death is welcome, implosion. Gonna be cancelled, munched up, but Irad gets melted down. Oh, two-man stun onto Kabuki. He's able to dash away. Yawi still there. Gugun securing the Lord. Around with the flank right now, as that's gonna be Skylar still in the base, waiting and clearing the waves. RRQ did not have the same vision for how that fight was going to go. They did not have any follow-up. That was already really good on Kabuki.
If they had followed up on that play, man, the two-man stun, maybe with a bit more damage they could have done something, but Skylar wasn't around. So there's no way they're going to take that fight and risk it. And now with the Lord marching in, can Aura end?
Ooh. 5-man, Astral Echo. Dawn pinned down right there as Kabuki makes quick work of that Faraga armor, but it is all a distraction for the Lord to be taken down. Bottom lane, pushing in, shoved in, but Kabuki doesn't have a lot of range, and they're still going to be able to defend these one base turret and keep staying alive. 20 minutes in, wow.
But it's the right base turret.
It is the right base turret. It's the one in the side lane.
It's the far lane. But that's it, right? The setup coming in from Aura Fire, because Aran has been so annoying. Have you seen him? He's just constantly pushing in that top lane. Skylar forced to deal with it. And now he picks up a new item.
Skylar? Got the Great Dragon Spear, because now he knows he's going to get chased down. He's the only real threat that Aura has their eyes on. And he is forced to just itemize for so many things right here. He needs some magical defense. He needs some physical defense. Yeheskiel and Aran is a deadly combo, man. Physical and magical damage, they can both one-shot your backline. So Skylar has a lot of issues to deal with himself. And on top of that, he needs to try and find windows here to really carry the game. There's only one turret left. I think for RRQ, they just have to try and maybe play some mind games, man. Because if they just wait it out, it's just gonna be another siege yet again.
All right, Yaoi's already in place. What about the items here, Rashi? Does anything stand out?
Well, there's no real blade armor, actually. I would assume that, especially with a carry, there's going to be a blade armor being built for someone on the side of RRQ, but that isn't around. Of course, everyone else is building defense, but for Irad in particular, he has the Radiant armor, but you have to keep in mind that now, it doesn't stack instantly. There's cooldowns before adding each stack. So it doesn't stack instantly up to 6 stacks anymore. So it takes a while to ramp up. So Yeheskiel is definitely going to be doing a lot of damage to him still.
Yeheskiel 109 KDA so far. One of the weak links highlighted by a lot of people, but he's been performing quite well here. Very, very consistent, reliable as well. That constant damage coming through definitely is one of the deterrents that RRQ Hoshi are currently facing. And Yaoi is still in the same position as he was. How many seconds ago? Maybe even a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, kind of reminds you of a setter like Chaknu, the guy who would sit in the bush for 3 minutes on Kufra just to conceal and find an angle, or someone like Beloyski even at M5 on the TIG, rotating across the map just to circle around.
And luckily he can do that. Because Yehezkiel can open up the map and look for the information that is normally processed in by the roamer.
And on top of that, RRQ, even if they do catch, let's say, Aran or Gugun in the jungle, it's not like they have any meaningful catch to try and punish that, right? Everyone has very short amounts of engage. It seems like their whole plan was to just counter-engage, but Aran runs into the Minotaur. But it seems like it's going to be a free Lord, man.
Yaoi with the conceal. Astral Echo already. Yaoi in the back right now. Impulsion is going to be ready, but Irad pops into Detonus Welcome, so it's only just a bait. And Irad has already used the Detonus Welcome. That's it. They're going to get the free Lord because of a flank that was only a feint.
The mind games. What is going on?
I can see what's going on in the face of Arashi. Looks pretty disappointed, looks pretty sad that this is happening, but Aura, so far, outclassing RRQ.
We'll have to see. I mean, yeah, there's not much you can say about that. At this point, with Aura having all the cards, right, all the engages, knowing when to start the fights, having all the intel coming in from Yehezkiel as well, RRQ are just forced to play reactive, and if they do mount a comeback, it's gonna be built on the back of a mistake from Aura. I feel like at this point, that's the only way to put it, because it's not like Brusco is about to do a random Minuan Fury Flicker combo.
It's a 4-man, 5-man actually. Don losing all of the Firaga armor. Gugun in the front right now.
Kabuki.
What the Rat just gets deleted. Gugun, winner Truncheon. And Immortality, he buys it. Minus Fury on 2-3. Earlier, Irad's still going to be deleted off of the Land of Dawn. Gugun still has it. Aran jumps in with a nature. Oh no, he shoves him back away from the Astral Spear. That should have connected. The winner Truncheon being bought left and right. That's going to be Aran still surviving in the side of Skylar. Looks for the last hit. Finds it. Yaoi loses his life. And Aura once again cannot finish in this game. 25 minutes in. RRQ, no base turrets. But with a breath of life, Skylar gets shot. An Astral Meteor now. Skylar wants to look for a play here, but he has to be careful. That's another Astral Recall and a shot. Oh, that would have killed him. Skylar dodges.
Okay, enough. Yehezkiel, come on. All right, 3-2 for 1 trade in favor of RRQ as they were able to defend it. And look at the tides completely turn. RRQ on their opposite arc looking for a base turret. But they still can't. They don't have any minions.
And you see that Gugun walked up and retrieved the cannon minion to ensure that tower just stands that much longer. 20 seconds to go, and I feel like right now is where RRQ needs to try and look for a fight, even though they have no engage whatsoever, man. This is their period, their window to try and get something with a member's advantage, but they can't do it. Aura just backs away, waits for the backup, and now it's back to the same situation. And with Aran in the picture, there's no way RRQ can force Aura into a fight. They have to wait yet again for the fight to happen in the base where their counter-engage composition can really take root.
And if that happens, that's it. That's over, right? I mean, 26 minutes in already, the death timers are enough to make one mistake GG.
Yeah.
That's it. It's getting so much more intense now. But no way.
He did it. Yehezkiel did it. 10 and 10. If you look at his score, 1-0 and 10.
Wow.
Ouch.
That's
4,000 gold lead.
That's a great stat to have. Now RRQ, once again, pulled away by the split push, by the Aran effect. I think they might just let it go. If they want to risk it, this is going to be a huge risk. They risk getting backdoored, and they also risk the straight out losing right here without being able to catch the more prio members from the side of Aura. I think they might just have to let it go.
Let's see. I mean, Don is giving information. Irad's already on standby, but Yaoi too.
Don losing the Firaga armor, getting shot down again. No Firaga armor. Irad now has been delegated the job to open up this side of the map. Skylar earlier was able to get a good shot on Aran, but he's still slow pushing that mid and the top side. He's always just staying out of the vision pocket. So that RRQ will be constantly thinking, where is this Paquito? Are they flanking? Yaoi as well doing the same thing. Gugun is holding on to the Lord. Irad taking control. They want to commit right now. Paquito's up top already in vision. Irad versus Gugun, but it's Yehezkiel
What?
who finds it. Now it's Iradu falls to Kabuki, and Yawi finds an implosion to bring them back. Say goodbye to Brusco, say goodbye to Irad. The two imports taken down by Aura now, and only the Indonesians left to defend. Don Skyler and Octa.
They have the wave clear. They have the wave clear. Do they have enough firepower in them to defend this? The Lord is already marching in that mid side. Brusco and Irad, their main frontliners, are gone. Yehezkiel's already going in. Gugun, Yawi, they're looking for their timing.
Oh, Yehezkiel, what? He walks up, loses his life, but it's all just a bait right now. Kabuki will stay targeted with Nature and the Lord. They needed a miracle to defend that, and they won't be able to create one. Aura secures game one over the Kings of Kings.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eterna is grinning at me.
No, I'm not. Liar. But wow! What an unexpected turn of events.
A bit of an upset.
It is an upset.
Yes.
I mean, did you see the predictions? It was like 90% something RRQ.
That's every RRQ match.
That's true. That's the Kingdom fans for you. Whew. But even personally, I thought it would have been RRQ to win that.
It makes sense to say that after yesterday's performance against Dewa for Aura. Now the question is, are Dewa just that good?
It might just be.
Or did Aura underperform yesterday? Or did RRQ underperform? There's a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. One more potential game to go to decide if Aura goes for a clean sweep or if RRQ are going to go for reverse sweep.
Right? Really good counter engage as well. If Aura Fire wanna dive. RRQ now, all they're lacking is that jungle position. At this point, I think a safe pick would be something like the Martis. We do have a comment here from Flap TZ. To be honest, I believe RK Hoshi is a strong team. However, they still need to focus and train more because they are still new and their chemistry is not yet solid. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But this is their journey. This is the journey that they need to go through, their arc.
Well, you know, Eterna, Rome wasn't built in a day, so...
So if Aura wins this, does that mean that Rome will be built in a day? Because it took them a day to adapt from yesterday to today.
That's true. But you know what is also true? Fredrin Jungle for RRQ.
That is pretty true.
I think it's a great pick. It provides the kind of quick shot engage potential, and Irad is lethal on this Fredrin. I'm just concerned about him trying to catch someone and everyone just flying away on the guiding wind, man. Nothing was gonna stop Aura from doing that.
That's why I would have preferred the Martis.
That's a fair point, Eterna.
The Martis is scary though, right? Because from Aura they have so much damage already. If RQ pick the Martis, it's giving away Decimate to Valentina, who can just execute everyone. We did see that as well from K's. That's how they were able to beat Gugun's Martis. It's tough.
It truly is. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the deciding match. Will RRQ come back and move this to a best of 3 series? Or will Aura Fire be able to take this 2-0? Welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 2 between the Red Dragons and the Soldiers of the Kingdom.
The last time Aura were able to beat RRQ was in Season 10, ladies and gentlemen. This will be only their second time since Season 4.
A long record for it to be shattered, but Irad and Fredrin clearing fast, we'll have to see. It's great for the concussive blast, which is a trend these days for the faster clear. Clearing just becomes that much more important these days. But Skylar, going with the Brave Smite, probably going for a tanky build instead. In the mid lane though, this trio is gonna be decisive in this, deciding who's gonna arrive on the fights faster.
Oh, the damage coming in from Octa though, like despite the maneuverability coming in from the Matilda, from Yawi, and the fact that they can clear a lot quicker, Octa's damage is still there. It can't be denied in the mid lane.
Well, in this game though, RRQ has a lot more tools to try and make plays happen in the early game. We already mentioned the combo between the Fredrin and the Valentina. It is absolutely lethal, and this means that Irad can be a lot more active here in the earlier levels. Instead of just power farming, until the turtle spawns. Already going for an invade, but is he gonna get punished for it?
Not yet.
Oh, he just leaves it. Okay, he backs away knowing, spotting due to the information of his teammates, but now they're prepping for a trap here. I believe they do get spotted.
Yeah, bit of poke over towards Gogun, but the guiding wind just gets him to safety very easily. 3 QCs, by the way, for Aura. So, already on top of the guiding wind mobility, they're so mobile.
And even for RRQ, by the way, again with the bold decisions here, no purifiers whatsoever. They feel like it won't be necessary. They're gonna just meet Aura with brute force, and now with the turtle already here, Aura once again are the ones proactively just looking for info, controlling.
Black Dragon form, Yaoi already spotting everybody as well. Don trying to look for an angle to initiate Minion's Fury. That was stolen away, and now it's going to be Gogun who secures it. A Furious Dive and a Petrify, and now into the Detonus Welcome. A beautiful combination of skills to lock Irad down. And that's exactly what they did. 1,000 gold lead already built up for Aura.
3 minutes in. Just 3 minutes. And Irad gets taken out in the first. That was really good execution coming in from Aura Fire.
Interesting. That's painful because, you know, RRQ, they're intending on snowballing. They have 2 Bargain Hunters on their emblems right here, Brusco and Octa. They're trying to scale up and make the plays happen earlier on before it becomes a team thing, a 5v5 roaming squad kind of deal, because that's where it gets a bit more difficult for RRQ. For now, they can still try and play with the skirmishes, but look at Yaoi on the Matilda, man. The fact that he can be so mobile, yet so safe, especially with the Wilderness Blessing and the agility, he's just zooming around, getting info, getting shielding, getting damage. That's why this hero is just so annoying to deal with.
That's why when you mentioned like the early game of RRQ, sure, I get it because of the damage, but in terms of mobility, setup, and rotations, because of the Matilda, Aura Fire, I do believe, has a little bit of an edge in this early game. And we see it actually come through. They're able to set up a lot quicker. They're able to make a lot more ganks happen, but here it is.
We're going to go all onto Gogun, even a Minion's Fury. Good Detonus Welcome to get him out. Circling Eagle by Yaoi onto Brusco, forcing him to flicker out, and Aura gets out safely. By the way, do you want to mention, wait, Yehezkiel? In that bush, Irad wants to dash for sure, but Yehezkiel has more dashes. Back to the emblems. Actually notice that for Gogun, he always takes a particular set of emblems here. Thrill. So on the Akai and on the Barats, we did see in game 1, Irad didn't go for the Thrill. So it's something that's like peculiar about Gogun. And so far, both games, he did secure first turtle with that Thrill. So that base damage doing him a lot.
Especially on a hero like the Barats with a lot of built-in extra stats with the stacks, with the passive. Definitely works out well, but it might be a personal preference kind of deal. Back to the turtle setup again though. Dawn is just trying to find vision, but he can't really do much on the CC.
No, not much. Zoned away instantly by the Black Dragon form in Irad as well. Not even going to contest this time. RRQ are playing the passive game now. Oh, even in the gold lane, Kabuki winning out against Skylar. Very aggressive though. Brusco comes in. A good sliding tackle to stun Brusco up. No Minion's Fury, and also Yaoi rotated up. Does he already have Flask? He might be. Turtle Guard, he has skill. Ooh, flickers out of the Appraiser's Wrath, just barely.
No, he doesn't. Not yet.
Okay, so it was just a shield from the Guiding Wind.
Yeah.
And it's already so massive.
Exactly.
I don't think he's going to be forced to rush it either, although he might. But again, the same issue for RRQ persists here in game number 2. The bulk of their engages are started by the Fredrin or by the Valentina, and none of them are just significant enough to actually secure the kill before they can fly out on the Guiding Wind. So now for RRQ, I think they have to just wait for the objective and then decide on save the resources for moments like that where they can for sure predict where Aura is going to be.
Oh, Yaoi's going back in.
Or not.
Or not. They're waiting for the time. They're waiting for that.
Irad taunts in front of Praise. Oh my god, Yaoi got deleted by Irad! A 3-man Minion's Fury under the turret. Wow! A beautiful counter initiation from RRQ. And even a trade down below. Dawn, Octa flicker, terrify, and a knockup too! An amazing read from Octa on this Vexana.
Beautiful 3-4-0 trade with Dawn in the bottom lane as well. And it looks like RRQ are going to be able to munch their way in that top turret. And that's it. It's a momentum shift for RRQ Hoshi.
It's one moment out of nowhere there. It's so ideal for them that Yaoi was the first target. And man, E1 wasn't even that low, and he just immediately destroyed Yaoi's health bar, man. He got basically one-shot by that Appraiser's Wrath, of course with the help of everyone else. But that is something that most likely will not happen again. Yaoi will be on his toes this time.
Definitely will. Skyler already picking up a next item here. But remember, Gugun is ahead in one level. Do they want to go for this? It looks like they do.
Yeah, skill knocked up, has him in his fury right now. Irad Appraiser's Wrath again! This time onto Yehezkiel. Black Dragon form is Dawn, pops into Vengeance in the back line. 1v4. An interesting decision by Dawn that will not go his way. It's Kabuki who punishes him, but RRQ do not let it go in vain. They get a turret in the mid lane for the trade of Dawn.
And it looks like they're going to be able to get their hands on the next neutral objective as well. So that is going to be Dawn traded in for a tower in the mid side, giving them a little bit more room to play with in terms of rotations.
Kabuki?
And that anchor in the mid lane, but what?
Flicker out, Skyler. All right. They decided to back off both. Gugun has rotated as well, but they did burn out a flicker from Kabuki. That's massive.
I wonder what happens in between games, man, because RRQ, they're looking a lot more alert, a lot more decisive.
Definitely.
And they are making full use of the bushes. Unlike game number 1. In game 1, they seem to be desperate, like running straight towards Aura. Now, they're just pre-positioning into these situations where they can just get an easy access towards Kabuki, towards Yehezkiel. And it's working out great for them.
Audience prediction has shifted a little bit though here. 69% this time around.
Nice.
A little bit less than it was in game number 1 with Aura grasping a little bit more, what do you call it? Hope, faith.
Right, a bit more... What, good faith?
Yeah.
Not quite sure, but you know, Aura can still prove everyone wrong so far. But look at RRQ, man. They're already setting up on the other side of the map. They want to make sure that they have the setup advantage this time. Because if it's an even setup advantage, I do believe that for now, Aura does have a bit of an advantage.
Okay. Dawn in the bottom lane has the Vengeance back up right now. Guiding Wind ready. Kabuki finds the turret. It's traded for, I believe, a tier 2 up top there. Skyler doing the same thing with the help of Octa and Brusco. Gugun's got to be careful. He doesn't even have the big guy stacks. Look at him. He's a small dinosaur in a world of knockups. 2 knockups, Brusco and Octa, and that will mean that the purple buff will be going to the hands of Irad.
Resources are being taken away from Aura left and right here. With Kabuki now only at 3 items.
They're still building towards the core 3 items, and on the other side, for Bruno, it's a lot faster with the House Claws and the Berserker's Fury. He is spiked a lot harder just as of right now. And keep in mind, the Flash of the Oasis competed for Yaoi, but not for Brusco. So the next fight is going to be a lot tankier. Well, Aura is going to be a lot tankier than RRQ would expect unless they spot that difference. So they might want to be a bit more careful in how they want to approach this, because I don't think Dawn can zone the whole team like last time.
This is scary.
Very scary. Kabuki has the House Claws though. Black Dragon formed by Aran. Let's see how they respond to this. Dawn in the back line right now. Saraz's going to be able to win out the Retribution battle. Kabuki still free hitting in the back right now. That's going to be the Vengeance from the side of Dawn to keep him alive. Brusco taken out right now as Aran jumps into the back. Skyler still able to kite away. Gugun 1 HP. Irad chasing him, knocking him up. A few of the shots and a taunt locking him down. Guiding Wind, bringing it down. But RRQ did secure the neutral objective and a better trade.
Definitely a 2-for-1, only losing Brusco in everything that just occurred. Lord is going to be marching down there in the top side. And finally, Brusco has the flask. So when he comes back, when he comes into the... Oh no, Irad? Do they want to go for this? No, they don't. They're going to wait for the Lord first.
Now, this is a scary situation, man. RRQ with forward momentum and with Irad just having a advantage. Irad is standing there, and I believe he has the blade armor, so he was actually dealing damage to Kabuki, funnily enough. RRQ, can they try and get something more right here? They don't have great siege, and I think they will back away.
They're waiting. Lord is still marching there in the top side, hasn't quite arrived just yet. RRQ going to be able to get that buff away from Aura first. Buy them a little bit more time. But here it is, Octa looking for an angle. Will Yaoi be able to make a play?
We'll see, not the big playmaker that we expect usually. That's a 2-man Kabuki knocked up, still able to survive. Go good. That's just welcome onto Irad, locking him down. Minions Fury from the side of Brusco, diving into the base turret right now as Irad's going to be able to taunt Yaoi. Appraiser's Rat dodged away from Gugun. Good movements back to the Oasis, giving around enough HP. The guiding win with the Furious dive defensively, and they have defended, only losing one base turret.
Man, that's a long, drawn-out fight, and yet no casualties. Great plays from both teams, particularly Brusco, trying to zone everyone with the Minuan Fury. And for the side of Aura, man, they were trying to zone, push back Skylar, but with that build, with the Brave Smite, it seems like a lot of marksmen right now are just completely comfortable, just sitting right in front of their opposing team, and they think they'll make it out.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, while we're on a little bit of a break here, go ahead and get that code on the GoPay app. Pulsatarmura. It's available only for the first 30 people. And you know what? I'm one of them, so you guys need to get that as soon as possible.
That's cheating, man.
It's okay.
Well, we'll have to see, man. But, you know, make sure you use GoPay to get full value, because RQ is definitely trying to do so. And keep in mind, Skylar is going for a full damage build. He does not have the Brute Force Breastplate. He does not have the Thunderbelt, so he is going to be a bit squishier, and that is something that can be punished.
Gugun super tanky. So soaking it in, red tree from Irad, only from Irad. Interesting choice, knowing that Lord is going to be spawning now. I thought that would do more damage, but Yeheskiel just tanked it up like a boss.
Like a boss. Well, Don, which means boss in some cultures, he's gonna have the advantage on the other side of the map. And for now, I think RQ is trying to bait for a fight, man. I don't think they're actually trying to go for a 50-50 here. They have the level advantage, the gold advantage, and this is what they want. Something to entice Aura to overextend and commit to a fight.
They're doing the exact same thing that Aura did to them in game number 1. Exactly the same. Look at the way that they're playing.
No ult on Dawn. Yeheskiel has him in his Fury. Gugun walking forward, circling Eagle on the Skyline with the Black Dragon form, following it up. Yeheskiel, Minus Fury. Appraiser's Smack not connecting. Aran in the back line and in a 2v1. But it's going to be Dawn doing the same thing, but winning this time around. Aran still with the help of the guiding win. Yaoi very low, still running away. The last hit not able to connect, as that's also Kabuki and Yeheskiel versus Irad. A flicker backwards, but Dawn finds the winning play with Octa. Now it's only one. The Black Dragon, Aran in the base against 4 members, and RQ are deciding 2 members in the mid, the other 2 trying to end. Aran clearing the wave. Dawn still in the front, giving Skylar enough room to go for the stack. 6 seconds for Gugun. They're still trying to clear the wave in the mid lane now. RQ looking for a possible end angle. Gugun's back up. Minion wave up top. They should be able to get a base turret, but I'm not too sure if they made the right call. The Lord was up for grabs for free.
But they didn't go for it. They wanted to go for an end, but they weren't able to do that. The death timers worked perfectly in favor of Aura Fire, and now RRQ have to go in for the reset on the Lord once again with all 5 members back up.
But this might just be part of the plan. RRQ, they need this Lord up to bait Aura out again. So going for the base turret, now they have Prio in the lanes. Now they can try and force Aura to an even worse fight. And it can be just the exact same story. Irad and Dawn just zoning the whole backline and making sure that Skylar and Brusco just do their thing and survive in the back. We'll have to see, man. Aura, can Gugun do it for his team?
The Lord is already a quarter of HP. Dawn is trying to go in that mid lane. Yaoi flask with the Oasis with the guiding win.
He's not 15 yet.
Them back up. Not 15, you're right. Irad has a level advantage. Black Dragon form. Here it is. Appraiser's Wrath with the combo and the Retribution. Around in the back. Gugun trying to save the back line. Meanwhile, they're all trying to dive Kabuki. Irad in the front also with the Minions Fury used up by Yeheskiel. Kabuki is still there, kiting away now with the flash of the Oasis, but Yaoi sacrifices his life. Skylar finds a double. It's only Aran, and Skylar is hungry for some dragons. Irad picks up the last kill in this game. That's 15-4 in 15 minutes and 40 seconds. They find the Lord and everything. RRQ prolongs the series. We're going to get a 3rd game.
Welcome to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. RRQ with a wiped out in the last second of that series. Hey Rash, it looks like we're going to game number 3, bro.
Game 3 is what it's all about. Man, that was intense.
That was a different RRQ.
They let go the Mathilda, man.
That was wow.
And they won.
What happened between games? Because it seemed like they were not informed. It seemed like they weren't communicating. But then they let go the Mathilda and they just wreck Aura. And essentially did, like you mentioned, Eterna, what Aura did to them.
Yeah.
Making a statement.
It was like a flick of a switch. It was beautiful. It was more coordinated. RRQ.
Be more counter-engage heavy.
What are they planning here for the gold lane? I can't see it. Angela and Valentina going to be the choice. Okay, wave clear, really good rotations.
It is
Really
the
good
Angela
sustain.
Baxia. Angela Baxia combo without anyone to shred him down, without a mage that can output
Exactly.
a lot of damage like Aurelia. This is going to be tough for Aura to try and shred him down.
They
Bruno,
need like
Brody,
DPS.
Brody.
Okay.
Oh, they choose to go for a burst, so this is a snowballing comp. They need to snowball. They need to find the strong side around Brody.
They have to try and make it happen before level 4.
Because if not, it's going to be a very difficult mid game for them.
I would hate to be in their shoes, man.
Ouch. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A brutal drafting phase by RRQ for Aura Fire. A small window of opportunity and timing for Aura Fire if they want to take this back into their hands. Both teams sitting at a 1-1 here. As we take a look at the index.
The big thing you have to look at is the damage potential. I think RRQ has Aura beat by quite a bit. And keep in mind, that's with a very tanky, sustainable hero. That will be the main issue right here. We'll see if Aura has a solve cooked up.
Without further ado, this is it. Go big or go home. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of this best of 3 series between Aura and RRQ Hoshi. Will Aura Fire be able to bring this back, or can RRQ go 2-1 and win this series?
It's going to be very close for sure. It's a battle of playstyles now. For Aura, early game to mid. For RRQ, they can actually hold their own in the early game, but it actually is going to be mid to late for the Claude.
It's like a good mix of both the early game, strong sustain, strong clear, and having good late game insurance in that marksman like it's supposed to. Well, for now though, it's still going to be boots in the items, but when it comes to the emblems, Yaoi's going for the Brave Smite, so he's trying to be a bit more sustainable. I think he's expecting fully to be the first man into the fray, trying to sustain through it and still be the main team setter for big team fights. So he has a lot on his shoulders, a lot to deliver, man.
But with Irad on the Baxia, with the Angela and the Valentina, look how fast that they're rotating. They were able to clear, give a lot of damage onto the opponents, and now they're going to be able to put some pressure here in the bottom lane as Irad will be able to get that away as well.
Okay, it's a bit slow for both teams, but later on, this is where the Novaria won't be happy. Whoa, Yaoi.
Stunned up there, Yaoi very low. Claude's going for the kill. One more shot, and it's Brusco who picks up first blood early on in the bottom lane. This is the gold lane, folks. This is the lane that Aura desperately need to be ahead.
But luckily for Aura, that wasn't a kill for Skylar, right? He does have an assist to his name, but at least it wasn't given to Skylar.
Right, Skyline snowballing is definitely a big plus, but Brusco getting gold, it means anyone that gets a hard guard is going to be that much tankier. But hey, Aura instantly respond.
Shield Unity cancelled out, he walks up, Gugun. Detonus Welcome munching on Irad now, spinning him out onto the wall, pinning him down, and that should be, yes, a kill to Gugun. Last Insanity to the back. Octa actually already stole the final slash, now going back. Final slash from Yaoi also to bring Octa back right into the Astral Sphere as Yaoi jumps in with a vengeance again. To force out another vengeance. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Vengeance from Arlet, and there's also a vengeance from Don.
All the vengeances, that is not how RRQ wanted that to play out. Aura did such a great job pressuring RRQ with time to go and rush into the turtle without preparation. Astral Sphere steals away the gold buff as well, I believe. Man, Brusco is going full utility here. Inspire for the lack of cooldown, and the Bargain Hunter, he's just trying to get to those items as much as possible and facilitate the early game rush I was about to say earlier, before I got interrupted by the action, that even though they have a Novaria that can slow, they can scout, if they're coming at you at 100 miles per hour, they're still going to catch you. So that is the benefit that this RRQ lineup has against this Novaria pick. We have to see if that is enough to really take it out of the equation, though.
They're definitely banking on the pure damage coming in from Yehezkiel with the Rupture as well as the Weapon Master. And they're also banking on his positioning. Just they're hoping that Yehezkiel can stay alive long enough in these team fights to dish out the damage like he did in game number 1. But against somebody like the Baxia, who's able to dive in, like Okta as well, it might be a little bit difficult. We'll see how this goes.
You have to check out as well the fact that Kabuki has the Wilderness Blessing. He was planning on being very active, moving around, but RRQ grouping together in the river near his lane, that alone is not allowing him to try and make any moves that are too fancy. He's just trying to play it safe and ensure that he doesn't fall too far behind, because we've seen what happens to Aura when Kabuki, the tip of the spear, doesn't really get to sharpen his tools.
So now the tools for Gugun is set, right? He's already level 7, meanwhile Irad's still at level 6. He has a little bit of an advantage here, but Gugun's gonna go in. Actually, no.
Holy
Dawn
damage.
goes.
Dawn's melting. Gugun. Vengeance popped by Dawn. He's still going to be running. Gugun down. 1 HP in the back. Still able to survive. Octa with the flicker. Basic attack 2 times. Finds it. Yaoi gets out, but Octa finds the kill. Now it's a Ron caught. Flickers out the safety. That should be RRQ with a free turtle. Brusco walking up. Kabuki's still there now with a basic attack on the Brusco, but Octa doing the damage. Oh, forcing a flicker. 1 basic attack to take him down, but they've done enough damage for Skylar now to pick up the full turret gold and a free turtle. The gold leads back to RRQ.
Beautiful, beautiful control, and they're going to be able to get a turret as well down in the bottom side in the hands of Skylar, just munching on down those turrets. And you can even already feel how wealthy he has been getting in the past few minutes of the game.
He was able to get no kills actually in that whole situation, but he was able to get almost the full turret gold and the turret itself. So I think he's doing very well for himself. And here's a fun fact. In MPL ID Season 12, Skylar's Cloud has been banned a total of 31 times, even from week 2 to 5. Cloud from Skylar is consistently banned in every match and game because it's just that respected by the opponents. Anyone going up against RRQ. So Aura is literally playing with fire.
Even on the international scene, it's respected. I think I remember back in MSC, was it MSC?
Yeah. What was MSC? The Claude and the Beatrix, if you remember.
Yep.
MSC was actually always taken by Herman. The Beatrix.
Ew. Talking about Beatrix. That reminds me of Kabuki,
Yeah.
Alright.
but it's no longer meta.
The Wesker Kabuki was pretty scary, man. You walk in a bush and you get gunned down by the Wesker.
So now with Skylar on, obviously, as everyone knows, his comfort hero, you can already see the stark difference in gold as well. I think he's had 1k gold already. Is that Kabuki?
It's more or less about a 1k gold difference, but Brusco also, with all the assists he's picking up, is snowballing significantly. If he gets the fleeting time, by the way, that means that that hard guard that can be used so effectively, like we saw earlier, onto Dawn or onto Irad, it's going to be spammable for RRQ to just go to town and get fights even before the neutral objectives have been up to get more momentum.
And that's not great, because Aura Fire doesn't have enough consistent damage, in my opinion, right? I think he has skills a more burst. We have Kabuki that's a little bit more burst as well. There's not that consistent damage that we can get from, let's say, a carry, but look at this.
Oh, he ran! The drive-by with a shield unity. Jetson is welcome, but Dawn just pops into Vengeance, able to survive, and now the last Insanity is popped. Aura are trying desperately to look for a trade because it's so bad for them. A torn apart memory to get a trade, but it's only onto the utility jungler. Tier 1 up top, Skylar got it, orange buff. Skylar's about to get it, and the turtle, it was a drive-by by Irad.
They see him rolling, they hate him, and Skylar has been farming hard. I want to see the goal difference now, because that one sequence alone, he's been power farming with 2 turrets under his belt. Aura, for sure, is trying to make something happen, but they're leaving a lot of pressure away from Skylar, which is usually the approach that a lot of teams need to shut down RRQ. Now it's a definitive 1k gold lead for Skylar in the gold lane, and he's still building towards a golden staff. Not there just yet, but he is rapidly making progress.
Skylar and Octa, no initiation.
This is brutal. Wait, okay, we were talking about a time frame that Aura Fire is on. Has that time frame gone out the window 8 minutes in? Or is there still hope for Aura Fire?
I feel like if RRQ makes mistakes, there is definitely still hope, but I think if you get to minute 13 and then you're still completely controlled, you don't have control over the map and all that, I feel like that's just you waiting for RRQ to make a mistake, and as we spoke about it, that's going to be an 8.5 minute Golden Staff 3-item power spike for Skylar. Now he's going to do the big damage, and he might just start following his team around for the big fights, and Aura has no way of stopping a full speed RRQ engage.
So what do they do?
They have to try and sit down and
Wow. Is it that
that
bleak?
sounds so bleak.
I mean,
There's got to be a different way, right?
they're gonna get outscaled here. The Novaria, I guess right now they have to bank on Novaria. If it gets to mid game is still okay. Like for Aura, it's still honestly okay. Oh! Just as we say, it's Skylar. That blazing duets with the Heart Guard. Say goodbye to the tier 2. But Aura are committing to the Lord. They know that there's no Skylar, no Brusco. This might actually be a good one. They're taking it so slow. Don is walking up. Kabuki with a smooch. Don getting Chung low, has the vengeance, and it is going to be Gugud who secures it. They need to run away now. They find a kill on the Don. There you go. That's the commitment. RRQ are not able to find any more trades when it comes to kills, but they might be able to take this turret down. Aura stops it from happening.
He defended. They knew that Skylar also already used that Blazing Duet, so it wasn't a key that they could have used against Aura Fire in that team fight. But here it is, Skylar, look at the damage.
Raga armor, more like no armor.
Raga cardboard.
Like,
What was that?
And look at this, look at the Lord. It's gonna barely touch the tier 1. Plays into what? Skylar! Oh my god, what a burst down from Skylar on this Claude. Octa with a Terrify and the final slash, Yaoi. Caught all alone, the shield unity locks him down, and Skylar just takes him out. Again, Aran walks up, Gugun going to be next on the chopping block. Skylar with a BMI, Kabuki with a few shots, Don very low right now, but he jumps in again onto Kabuki with a yo-yo. It's a good trade, and Skylar's the one with the double kill.
No way, is this endable?
It might be. His skill is the only one up right now, and RQ can constantly just dive.
He was tanking.
Turret passive still there. They can actually clear it out now. Astral Echo used up once here. Holy moly, a base turret in the 10th minute. Not for a Brody, for its opponent, for the Claude.
In the drafts, we were like, all right, the Angela Baxia combination. But as soon as Skylar got that power spike, it's a Claude-Angela combination that should have been a lot more feared now that we're entering this mid-game. And the damage was definitely there. It was a ticking time bomb as to when he used that Blazing Duet in the top side and when he was able to pull that trigger in the mid to completely turn things around for RRQ.
I mean, Zengan and the Turtle, it was just a big plus. They were sacrificing so much early game prio, so much objective control just to get Skylar all the gold, all the resources. He is level 14, my guy. He is the highest level in the game right now, and he's rapidly approaching level 15. This is where RRQ, though, is at their strongest, right? When Skylar has reached his peak before everyone else. Once he goes there, it's a dead end. He's at the tip of its potential. So in a way, Aura can wait it out, but RRQ are not letting that happen.
I mean, real-time victory rate, 64%.
Man, hit it. One more time.
No.
Come on. The minion. Look,
Yeah, the minion's gonna hit.
look at this.
It's okay,
Look at this.
it's okay.
Boom. Oh no, we didn't get to see the
What?
small minion hit it. Oh.
That is so unjust.
I'm sorry.
That is also a almost a 2,500 gold lead for Skylar. He has a Wind Talker 2 right now. Even without the Blazing Duet, he is shredding anyone down. And to make things worse, like we mentioned, there's no one on the side of Aura with any meaningful crowd control or burst damage that can threaten him away.
And the Mythic Roar, the cherry on top. What? Wind of Nature what?
Level 15 as well. This is the icing on the cake, man. Aura knows this. They have to respect it.
Oh man, Skylar, he's that confident. He's like, dude, who can burst me? No one. I don't need a Wind of Nature, man.
There's a Angela in there as well, so you know there's some reason to his confidence.
Free Lord, and they even give it to Skylar, padding those stats.
It was so fast.
You blink and you miss it.
Well, now Aura are trying desperately to hang on. It's
What?
only a 5k gold lead. But
Hey, yo. 11,642 gold by UBS Gold.
he's been making investments.
Welcome to the rice field, boys. It's Skylar the farmer.
Look at the waves though. Oh.
That's a very early flicker used by skill as well.
Okay. Skylar's walking up right now, places the BMI, baits out the final slash.
Wow.
No final slash from Yaoi. Enhanced Lord in the mid lane now, as that's another wave crashing down in the bottom lane. Skylar should be able to deal with this turret. Kabuki's clearing it. Good job, but Detona's welcome. In the mid lane onto Octa. Oh, last insanity defensively. Torn apart memory. Oh my goodness, Octa!
Oh.
Picked off Irada's 1 HP. Or a defend.
They did it. Octa's gone.
That was a bit unfortunate for
October.
RRQ. I think they really wanted the bottom turret. They sent Skylar there. But then a fight broke out, or rather was forced by Aura, credit to them, in the middle side of the map. They fought there without the guy who holds the bulk of their gold in the picture. And that's why they weren't really getting the same kind of, the same kind of advantage. So they should not repeat that mistake, and I think they themselves understand that. Now it's back to the waiting game, and Aura has the scouting tools to ensure that they can leave the base occasionally to try and shrink that gold gap, man, because it's not insane, but it's definitely significant.
This feels like it's just prolonging the inevitable, though, in a way. Unless they find something that Beloski would think of, something really creative when they got
Yaoi.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very
Full trust.
concerned. Yeah, doesn't sound like full trust, Eterna.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Can he do it or not, Eterna?
We'll see. I mean, he is on an Arlet. He should be able to make that play. Seems tough, though, if I have to be realistic.
I think it's almost like a reverse. Now, all are the ones who want to try and catch Skylar, punish Irad for rolling down in a drive-by. But they can't do it because Yaoi is on an Arlet, and all he does is set up for that big fight, and his engage is an ultimate. So he has to be very conservative with it, because otherwise everyone else is just going to run through and they have nothing to deter.
Skylar has purified, but here it is.
That might be
Is
it.
it?
The final splash down. Vengeance already trying to farm memory. 1 HP. Aran burns him down.
Skylar?
with the blaze into it into the back line. With a nature though already used up by Kabuki. He's still going to be melted down. 1 HP. Skylar is insane. Last insanity again, this time from Octa and Aran. Skylar in the back still. It's a 1-4-1 trade. Gugun's very low. Skylar gets brought back. The final splash. But it's still not going to be enough. Now it's Brusco and Irad. 1 HP on the Boxia. Skylar gets the hard guard again. And Skylar goes for the base. A reverse sweep for the kingdom to slay the dragons.
Reverse sweep.
Wow, man. That one's personal. That was personal.
What a performance. That adaptability that we saw from RRQ all those seasons back, with a completely different roster now as well. That is the performance that you want to see.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That was basically a brute force play. No setup, no nothing. They run through and they crash the base. Like it's unlocked. They just kick down the door and take Aura out after an insane first game. That is not the result they were expecting.
No, you can even look at the faces, man. They look disappointed. I hope they don't feel defeated. Because again, it's still week number 1.
Blazing duet from Skylar secures RRQ's 19th victory against Aura. To remind everybody back at home, since Season 4, Aura has only won 1 match.
Recently, just 2 golden bands from Bigatron.
Yeah, they're forcing Brands here into a little bit of a spot, right? With the carry pickup, they banned out the Claude and the Bruno. So what does Brands go for? Do they go for a Brody? Is that the way to go? But they're gonna leave that for the last pick. Valentina gets picked up first.
Super fast drafts, man.
Yeah. Everyone's like in a rush to just get into it, trying to prove each other wrong. But the Valentina against the Vexana, I feel like Vexana still wins out in the clear. But later on, when it comes to the strategic use of the Eternal Guard, maybe then there'll be some kind of trade back with that IMU.
This is why it's so expensive for that flex, like Guinevere.
Yeah.
Because the Fanny is always, you kind of always have to respect it against Alter Ego or Bigatron. Because they had to ban that Fanny, Export was left open. This is one of the best picks against this kind of composition. Shreds you through just with a War Axe.
If they go with a Ice Queen's one build as well, it is an extra bit of utility. It hasn't been as popular though, so I don't think that will be the case. But later on during the Lord dances, a Vexana, a Gwyn, a Tigreal, and an X-Borg. There's a lot of ways for Bigatron to move in and out here in that dance.
Second Clint pick as well. One of the only viable choices for brands. I mean, the other option was Brody, but against the composition of Bigatron, it might work better.
No, I think the Clint was is a good call on the Clint here up against the X-Borg too. You use your turn apart memory on the X-Borg, you only get the Faraga armor, not crazy value on the Brody. So makes sense for them to actually go for the Clint. The only problem is the reason they banned Claude and Bruno isn't really for the matchup of carry. It's more so to take away the heroes that can bring Purify. Clint, even earlier, Skyler, Flicker against so much CC, they had to go Flicker. So we'll see if Brands actually goes Purify, but I think high chance that he won't.
I think it's almost required against this composition, against a team like Bigatron.
And that it is, ladies and gentlemen, the final best of 3 series of week number 1 here at MPL ID Season 13. To close things out, we are going to have a battle between Bigatron Alpha and Evo's Glory as we head into the Land of Dawn for game number 1.
Oof. Just like that, we're off. Looking at the emblems, Van Strong has the focusing mark, so he is attempting to be a lot more aggressive right here. But keep in mind that this Gwyn is, we haven't seen this Gwyn at all today, and I think we're gonna see great usage out of it.
I guess it depends on comfort, right? I guess Super Ken's picked this up a lot. It's definitely a power hero and a comfort hero for Super Ken, so he does bring that into the jungle. Like you mentioned earlier on, Brands on the Clint does go for the, already very aggressive in the early game.
Yikes. That's the first one picked up by Super Ken, just like that. That's the setup potential. And that is also, by the way, the Vexana value, right? The crowd control is actually so difficult to dodge in the early game, level 2, level 3. It's almost a guaranteed, successful gank. Not always a kill, but the gank will definitely pay dividends, just like that. Bigatron taking some tempo to try and pull ahead of Evo's Glory.
There's definitely a lot of things that they were able to take here in the early stage of the game. You can see Iman also leading that gold lane. Was Bronze able to take that away? I don't think so, no.
I guess not. Well, the carry once again, shows that even against some lane bullies, the sustain really is helping out the matchup. And I think Iman is just really good at really abusing it, knowing his limits, knowing the cooldowns as well, just triggering it whenever possible to ensure that if it's going to be a trade battle, Brands might just run out of mana before Iman is forced to leave the lane.
Let's shift our focus a little, right? Now the turtle has spawned both junglers at the same level as Van goes for what looks like a gank, perhaps? He actually decides against it, but he has to be careful. Oh, he actually knows!
Spatial migration, no Violet Requiem here. They're just trying to bait it out, and Van actually did pop the Turtles Boisanza. Very late Violet Requiem, but Super Ken is all the way in the front. Veldora picks him up. No jungler for Bigatron Alpha. It's Evo's Glory with the better setup right now. Warlord holding it down. Last Insanity onto Chorizo. 2-man implosion. Moreno with the Eternal Guard. And Moreno with a steal over the Turtle despite having no jungler. It's Bigatron Alpha who secures it. Chorizo, though, will not be able to survive this one. It's 2 kills over. And even the solo kill in Mono. Barely able to get out Brants. Doing a good job in that gold lane.
What in the world? That turtle steal from Moreno. Super Ken was off the board already. That was Evos' turtle to win. And yet he was able to take it away. Did Van use Retry?
I don't think he got to use it, honestly, because of the play, right?
Implosion,
and the push. Form Key just stunned him long enough for the steal to happen. And again, that's a Vexana damage. It's a great play to salvage a less than ideal situation, but the fact that Super Ken got picked off so early on, I feel like that is something that Bigatron Alpha needs to try and chill a bit with, because There you have all the quicker, more surprising engages. There's no need for you to overextend that far ahead. Eventually, the box will come rolling down to you.
You know, your DMs are going to be filled after this, Miracle.
Good shield unity over and a hard guard. Spatial migration, no hard guard now. Even actually, the Tortoise's Poisson's used there, so they did bait 2 big ultimates.
That's the difficult part about going up against the Guinevere too, man. Yeah. You never know when he's actually fully committing, and the spatial migration leaves an extra body there, right? A clone almost. So the single target damage from Evos, some of it's going to be absorbed by that, just because of how chaotic the fights do get. So that is another extra benefit of picking this Guinevere.
At this point, still quite equal between both of these teams. You don't see a particular big gold gap between. Bigatron holds just a little, but it doesn't look like Evo's Glory are far behind. Super Ken as well as Van here both hit level 7 at the same time. But in terms of composition, now that we've entered the 5th minute of the game, who has a better chance here on the turtle?
Yeah, Bigatron definitely still has it. Evos has to be a bit more careful with all the potential combos, but now only 3 members down there, outnumbered.
Oh, spatial migration cancelled. He goes for the clone. Veldora is chasing him down. Warlord, Last Insanity, not able to connect right now. Whoa. A few more shots, he should be able to get it. But Super Ken now with a get back over. Veldora is able to kite him away. Chorizo's burning Warlord down now with Last Insanity. Not able to connect just yet though. Veldora, a good zone from him and a good neutral objective contest for Evo's Glory.
Yeah, Van was able to secure that turtle, no problem, without any distractions, as they were able to chase the members of Bigatron away into the corner in the top side and a kill. So it was a win for Evos, but why does Bigatron hold the gold lead?
I think it's mainly in the hands of Eman right there. What is this, like almost 2K?
Swapped it. That's Eman should be with Brands.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
all the way down there. It's about 1K still. 1K gold lead, which is still significant. So, of course, Evo is holding the tempo right now, and they're doing a lot to really shut down Super Ken, because they do have an abundance of single target damage and catch. But as they're doing this, it's almost reminiscent of match number 2. The carry in the hands of Iman have been left alone, and that is literally the opposite of their win condition. So, we'll see if they have plans later on. After shutting down maybe the rest of the team and Super Ken, how are they going to try and deal with Iman?
Wait, what is he doing?
Trying to just get some space, I believe, for Eman right now. I mean, he's successfully zoning them away from the turret, buying enough time for Eman to actually deal enough damage to the turret. Not going to be able to take it down just yet, though, as Van pops in a Tortoise of Poissons now onto Moreno. Implosion and out of knockup to disengage. A few good shots. Key force the flicker back. Bigatron not able to find a turret, but it is super low there. Key has to recall, and it might just be Evo's Glory's turret to take in the bot side already. All the members rotating over to the bottom lane. Shield unity once again from Van. Just one shot from Brands on that passive. Meanwhile, Chorizo actually is getting a lot of good hits, but he's not going for the turret. He's actually denying minions as much as possible from Veldora.
He's moving to the mid lane to cover. And what that was, it's a bit of a mind game, right? I think Evo's Glory was thinking that there's definitely people behind the concealed Tigreal. But the fact that Key has done it once, now whenever he walks up, Evo's Glory are going to be left guessing, okay? Like, is this an engage, or is this once again a feint to push us away?
Chorizo's doing some work though.
Shutting it down. Van looking for a flank right now, and Monster targeted down by Veldora. Chased down all the way, but he's still going to be able to escape right now. Super Ken pops in that defensive spatial migration. Chorizo loses Faraga armor, and Veldora is still in the back zoning with the hard guard. Key! Implosion onto a lot of members, but Vantron was able to escape, and it is a win for Evo's Glory. The neutral objective control with Veldora's zoning, and they are trying to transition over into the mid lane. No implosion for BTR, but they will be able to clear 2-1 in Turtles.
Very impressive. Great decisive plays coming in from Evo's Glory. This is what you want to see. But again, you can see that they are struggling to really chase down Bigatron Alpha. Later on, even if they do have an advantage, they're going to have to settle for not having some really strong lockdown, just relying on the movement speed buff and the slows in order to get those fights they really want to get in the mid game.
There you go. Brands gets a tower in the bottom side. He's going to be able to push that. It looks like Carry is looking for something similar. Amon there with the help of Super Ken, possibly being able to get this buff away from Van. But it feels like the composition from Evos, it's so aggressive, it's so dive heavy, and Bigatron doesn't really have an answer other than the implosion coming in from Key that he doesn't really follow up as well.
Well, there's that, but if they tunnel too much on Key and the implosion, don't forget the Eternal Guard is a very strong area of effect knockup, and so is the spatial migration. This is why it gets very difficult. You can't really just watch out for one because technically it's like a mini implosion, right? The spatial migration and the Eternal Guard, so they have options to play around with here. And the Terrify is definitely a great solution for a full-speed box ship.
We'll see. Has it been timed properly? I don't understand what's been going on in these team fights because technically with what you mentioned, that Bigatron Alpha, they have such a strong wombo combo, right? They have Super Ken, Moreno, as well as Key. Is it that Evo's Glory, every time they go for these team fights, they go for different directional approach rather than clumping up as one?
They kind of keep their distance and position well. I do feel like, on paper at least, I think Evo's Glory should be the ones kind of pulling ahead here. The fact that Bigatron are not just keeping steady, but having a gold advantage by the macro plays, I feel like that is testament to how well that they are playing the fights.
A Warlord walks up! Last Insanity used already. Iman actually popped his ultimate there. So that's a pretty useful resource that Evos will definitely have timed down. And then they only had to waste a Valentina ult. That should be up very, very soon. It's actually already back up so he can go and steal one of these big ultimates.
Vanstrong's still on the top side though. He's trying to clear, giving Evos a little bit of an advantage here, as he can always just hard guard back into the team fight when it's needed. Are they going to handle that? Is Bigatron going to go up? Send someone up there?
Well, they're committing here. And Evos, this is what they want to be doing. This is where Bigatron are the ones who should be making a fight happen.
Implosion from Veldora there, onto Veldora. Moreno getting back, Iman still free, hitting the last Insanity from Warlord, and a splash to kill Iman. Chorizo in the back, now Brand's looking for the chase, flickers forward, Chorizo is down. Moreno's following next with Veldora, chasing him all the way. Super Ken is forced to run all the way under the turret, and Veldora's chasing. One more hit under the turret, a complete wipeout. Evo's Glory take control of the game.
Minute 11, and that's everything that we were given. A wiped out, a Lord, as well as a lot of pressure down in the top side. As you can see, Van already there going to munch on those turrets. And the mid falls as well. This is the best case scenario that Evo's Glory could wish for.
Just like that, an instant 3.5k to 4k gold lead secured in a blink of an eye for Evo's Glory. That is the kind of fight they would want to have. The combo didn't really land together. It seems like two members of Bigatron realized the severity of the situation and they wanted to go for that engage. But then you see Key and I believe Super Ken just engage at the same time, so they didn't really get to use the full wombo combo. Now with a gold disadvantage, they're gonna have to try and defend, but with a Vexana, I think this will be possible. It is only one of the earlier lords after all.
Lacking a lot of damage now. Against the sustain of Evos, they've been able to take these prolonged team fights, and now with the Lord, this is actually going to be cleared out quite easily by Bigatron, but Warlord and Chorizo are going at it up top. Warlord has been doing a great job at utilizing the last Insanity. Spatial migration with the Violet Requiem, now locking down Fan, and he's going to be instantly deleted with Implosion as well onto Veldora, but he pops into Vengeance. Now, shoved back to the team, 1 HP shut down for Bigatron Alpha. The Lord advantage play was not in favor of Evos.
That was a beautiful, beautiful defense. Van taking out Veldora. We can see a concealed play happening. Do they want to go for a little bit more here, as it looks like they're chasing down Evo's Glory. They find no one and they retreat.
Seems like the Pokemon will fall victim to Super Ken though. To take a look at the items, Iman is one more item away from full build.
Full damage.
It's like half a item ahead of Brands. But that's where it is. There's a lot of damage in the hands of Bigatron, and when you get engaged on like that, it seems like the first engage was already like surprising enough for Evos. The Lord kind of baited them into a false sense of security. But afterwards, it's that combo, man, and with the Vexana dropping the Eternal Guard, it's just too difficult.
Wow. Oh, what a catch onto Brands. The flicker and the tough boots, though, gets him out, and this might just be it. The reinitiation, the re-engage Key will fall in the back. They actually will let Key go. They will sacrifice Key for the rest of the team. A flicker for Brands for the life, and a flicker for Key.
That was nearly a good engage. There's no follow-up.
It was an impressive play by Key to actually be in the right place and actually get Brands of all people, one of the main carries from Evo's Glory, but unfortunately, just not enough damage, not enough lockdown just yet. So now it's back to the waiting game. And you can see Vanstrong is already in place. Evo's Glory knows what they're doing. They're the ones playing textbook. They have to just cruise to a victory. Victor and Alpha are the ones who have to try and be creative right here. So otherwise, it's a matter of time kind of deal. Unless they really want to stall it out to 20 minutes by defending the base. But you know, usually, we haven't seen Bigatron Alpha play that style for a long, long time.
Slow push in the bottom lane. Superkin already chunk low. Veldora doing a good job at zoning them again. Once again, dropping back. Eternal Guard, Amon doing a lot of damage on the van. Actually, almost laying Van. The Lord might just do it. But Veldora again in the back is just slicing through the back line. Moreno's going to be next right now as Key is there. But look at the Vengeance. And Moncart in a bad spot, but he's able to actually look for the outplay. Vanstrong 1 HP. A few hits him on with the flicker out to safety as the last Insanity does not connect. But the Lord was slain, and it was slain by
Brands.
Evos.
Yeah, Brands was able to take that because Van was taken out in the final moments before Key was taken out. So that was a plethora of chaos and just energy everywhere. But in the end, it was Evo's Glory being able to take that Lord. It's marching down in the bottom side. There is still a few more seconds for Keat and Super Ken, but it shouldn't be a problem as they're gonna be standing back as 5.
Bigatron once again can clear. They have Iman to really shred down the Lord, but Evos now, they have seen the play coming from Bigatron. They will be a bit more prepared, and that range difference that the claim brings in the hands of Brands is definitely going to be very valuable in this siege. But look at that.
Bye.
Zone it away, shred it down. That's the Lord just deleted by Bigatron. They can keep doing this for quite a while.
That was so quick. You would expect Evos to be able to get a little bit more with that, but the fast clear coming in from both Sorizo as well as Eman is insane. The inhibitor turret in the bottom side does fall though, thankfully for Evo's Glory.
Yeah, with that range, Brands just snipes it out. Now it's back to the waiting game, and I do wonder if Bigatron are trying to go for some other play, a play that's a bit more aggressive before the Lord is up. Because when the Lord is up, that's the signal for Evo's Glory to set up for that split push, for Vanstrong to move away from the whole team. If you can see right now, they're all grouping together. That pressure from the macro play isn't available unless the Lord or something else is in play, but Super Ken loses his purple buff to Van.
But that should be predictable now though, right? Bigatron should know by now that whenever they go for a Lord fight, Vanstrong always goes to the far lane to clear. And with an EXP laner like Sorizo, do you think he has enough movement speed to tackle that problem and maybe go for a 1v1, eliminate him out of the entire equation?
Well, before we get on that, let's take a look at the replay here where that's just the CC and Angela combo once again. Even against a well-farmed carry with backup, by the way. He was just a bit too tanky. The sustain seems to be the main issue here. Whether or not the X-Bor can spring a trap for Vanstrong on Angela, I think he lacks the crowd control and the damage to burst her down. Worst case scenario, the X-Bor shows up, tries to go for a big play, and Vanstrong can just hard guard into someone. But maybe if he gets caught off guard, that could be a possibility.
Good poke from Warlord. The Melfic Roar is built up already. Look at Key's positioning as well. Very, very deep in enemy lines. Maybe looking for a flank. Warlord does have Purify, so it's not the right target if they do want to go for something big.
I think they're looking for Angela, no? I think they were looking for Vanstrong, but Vanstrong, see, this is the mind game play again. He knows that he knows that he knows, you know?
Yep.
Same story.
It's a weird chess match.
All about the hold on the Lord right now, and Van pops in that shield unity. Vanstrong finally revealing himself. Oh, spatial migration. The Lord actually knocked him up. Veldora jumping on the Iman, flicker out, implosion. To disengage right now, Sorizo's dealing some damage back on towards the enemy team. Veldora, Vengeance now jumping on the Iman. Rose Gold Meteor there already. Meanwhile, Sorizo is going to be isolated. Super Ken jumps back forward. The sustained battle by Evos and BTR. It ends with a stalemate. Both teams disengaging again.
This is good though. This is good for Bigatron. They were able to buy some time. Amon wasn't picked off, thankfully, with his mechanics. And now Evos, they want to reset for sure. But Superkin already opening up the Lord once again. You see that Van is in the vicinity. And look at again, see Van Strong always in the top lane, pushing. They're going to lose that top inhibitor turret if this continues.
He knows his job. And honestly, for Bigatron, if they trade like that with no deaths but low HP bars, Evo's Glory can heal up again, and it seems like they're trying to go for another play.
Implosion, onto 2, spatial migration with Battle Requiem, Immortality. Veldora bought it just in time right now as Warlord jumps into the back line, but look at him on! Just bursting him down! And now he loses that lasting 70 HP. Warlord's 1 HP, Brands is doing a lot of damage, save Warlord! But that delayed basic attack finally reached Warlord. So far, it's still worth it for BTR, but if they lose this base turret, it might not be. Van Strong is getting ran down, but he has that flicker to get out. 2 for 0, but for a base turret. Bigatron needs to go for an enhanced Lord, or it's not going to be value for them.
Looks like they're racing there. Key already on the way. You can see Iman not far behind. It looks like trying to blitz this, and they need to as soon as possible and pray that Van doesn't go for a drive-by, seeing as Van Strong is up and available if they want to.
There's a bunch of card control, so Eva's Glory let it go. Finally, a huge swing in momentum with this Lord. The macro play will no longer be in the hands of Eva's Glory. This is their chance. They're gonna have to manipulate the waves, trying to make something happen. And we can see Key already being so proactive, but he's alone.
Just trying to get that vision down. As long as they know where the Baksha is. Oh, he actually baited out Poisson's there.
The mind games. Just keeps going for plays without any backup.
Yeah, you would not think that the Tiger will be alone, right?
Exactly. So Evos, they just kept guessing, and maybe now he's gonna make a big play. Watch for him, possibly going for a big flank. But look at the towers equalizing. This is exactly what Bigatron has been looking for.
Key conceal.
Oh, Implosion onto the back right now. That's the follow-up right into. It was Brez that was caught by Key, and that truly is the key to victory. They found the main carry. Now Last Insanity to the back. Warlord with a flicker forward, but it's a triple kill for Iman. He's looking for Maniac, maybe looking for the Savage right here. It's a Maniac, and it might just be the first Savage of Season 13. Iman!
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Bigatron take game number 1 in this best of 3 series with, like you mentioned, the first Savage here at MPL ID Season 13. It was looking tough. It was looking bleak. But finally, Bigatron were able to find their rhythm, find their tempo, and find that combo that we were looking out for from the first seconds of that game.
We saw him, man. Sneaky beaky. Just hiding us around the corner, waiting for a chance. Bigatron Alpha, if anything, they know how to make plays happen, man. Eternal Guard, but Bigatron is good at maneuvering around stuff like this.
Oh my goodness.
I thought that Evos wants it. I guess Bigatron can use it. But now, it's the Bruno Digi combo we haven't seen in a while. I guess it serves as denial as well as protection for their side. But here we go, man. This is the first assassin.
It's the first Lancelot of Season 13, and it's going to be on the hands of Vancelot.
Vancelot.
I'm a big fan of Van on the Lance.
Vancelot tanks a lot, right? Does he go for damage?
Yeah, back then.
Last season?
Back then, he did go for damage.
Oh, let's
but
see.
we'll see what he'll go for. That's not Van.
That's not Van.
Who that?
I can't tell from his hands.
Neither do I. I would say that that's either Matt or Max last time.
Matt or Max?
Yeah,
What?
they have long nails on their thumbs.
Right. Shout out Matt and Max. Don't know where they are right now. They were in secret MPL MY last season.
Yeah.
Oof. Looking at the stats right here, though, look at that lineup rating, man. It's sky high for Bigatron.
Wow.
That's the biggest disparity I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
So let's see if that disparity can win them this series. Ladies and gentlemen, as we're diving into the land of Dawn, we see the wings flying high. Will Bigatron continue to soar upon a victory over their fellow Evo's Glory, or can Evo's force a game number 3? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 2.
Oh, okay. So Impure Rage on Van there. This does mean that it's a bit more adaptive, Rashi, yeah?
I think so. You can even go for initially some tankiness and then transition depending on how the game's going. So the flexibility is definitely something that Van is familiar with as a Lancelot player.
Yeah, he used it all throughout last season, I think.
And let's see how this plays out, because usually we've been talking the whole day about carry and the laning prowess. Now against a Bruno Diggy that's just an absolute bully kind of lane. If Brands can survive this laning phase without too much problems, I think that really shows how strong it is.
And technically, is there not a single target CC coming in from Bigatron? That could be deterrent to Lancelot?
Oh, wait. Vanstron's getting taken pretty low. Supercan still trying to chase with Moreno. They don't get the battle spell, nor do they get the kill. But yeah, what was your question?
Arashi remembers.
Single target crowd control to shut down Van is what you're asking about.
Yes.
I think deceptively, I think the reverse time can be a deceptive tool to really just mess with the calculations, the mechanics of Van on that super mobile assassin.
Can't he not get out with skill 2 though?
Wow, that third goal.
It depends on the interaction, right? Which one he uses first, kind of. But if he's just trying to puncture away, that can ruin his calculations. And if you do that, there's still the tackle, there's still the spatial migration, so there is crowd control. It only depends on whether or not Van can dodge from it. The only targeted one is from Key.
Okay, it's risky, but it might just work, ladies and gentlemen, as we are entering that moment where both of these teams are going to collapse on the next neutral objective here.
Oh, and they get it without the help of the Diggy. Eternal Guard comes down. Van's still on the purple buff, so a very interesting decision to still be committing onto the turtle there. Vanstrong gets picked up for free. 1 kill, full turret gold, plus turtle.
Already the pressure in this gold lane. The gold of the turret is completely stripped away. And this is I wonder if this is where Iman gets left alone, but I guess not. Vanstrong tries to make a play, but no. I think Bigatron just have so much control right here. And Van is going to require a bit longer before he can even try and make something happen. And even then, who is going to set up the kill for him?
And that's a problem now, right? Because Brand is falling behind with Key babysitting Iman constantly in that gold lane. The keys to victory that Evo's glory had has been completely negated with this particular setup.
Looking at the HP bar of Brands though, against a Diggy Bruno, just staying at almost full HP all day, that's kind of impressive. And now Supercan trying to juke around, trying to emote as well, asserting dominance here. Oh, but bot lane.
I'm offended. Time journey instantly. Oh, the damage to Key will be assassinated by Vanstrong and Brands there. Only the roamer traded in. Brands though finishes that corrosion scythe.
Ooh, Van Square.
The Van Square.
Van Square.
Strong.
The Van Strong combo. I guess Key on the Diggy. A lot of people usually voice their disapproval. They want the El Momento, the key to victory plays. On a Diggy, it's less prevalent, but maybe it's just what they need.
What? I didn't even get to play-by-play that.
Going on?
Yeah, the camera moved and Vanstrong is just gone.
Requiem,
Wait, was that Moreno? Or?
Spatial Migration, Moreno. It was both Ken and Moreno. Ken with the base damage. 4th minute turret take from Bigatron down below. Oh, Eternal Guard on Cerezo. Just a flicker. Penalties on flicker from Veldora. A Vengeance coming down now, trying to survive just a bit, trying to buy some time, but it is going to be a kill over the Warlord. Meanwhile, Ken sets up for the turtle. It doesn't seem like Van is too concerned with that turtle. He's going to be happy with just that kill. Hand cam. Look at this. Mechanics, man. Go for the turtle. Let's go. Super high mechanics on the turtle there. Turtle didn't stand a chance.
Man, he's tapping so fast. That's insane. For now, though, it's still almost a waiting game. And somehow I feel like Evo's, they're playing the way RRQ was playing with Skylar, but now Van is the one just power farming. He's been just focused more so on the farming instead of the neutral objectives. And if you look at the gold, though, he's still not really ahead compared to Supercan. So there's some concern there for sure for Evo's glory.
I think Warlord's going for that build.
Whew.
Boom! And the shot, and Ken to
Damage.
execute. Penalty zone into the time journey, gets out. Oh, the turret shots. Brand's very low.
A bit too deep just for Vanstrong, right? If they got Warlord or Brands in
Brands,
that trade maybe, but the fact that they traded for Van Strong, who was already kind of expendable. Oof. Happy feet.
The recalls, man. Moreno might be the next Suns here, the way he's recalling, right?
Van goes for Fury Hammer. Does that mean he's building damage or tank?
That means at least his first item is gonna be more so of a damage item. Also, it gives like cooldown. So that is some hang on. Penetration, extra bit of penetration and damage. So in the early stages, if he's trying to go for Moreno or Key, it's gonna be very valuable. But against Super Ken, for instance, not quite.
What? Moreno's going in super deep right now into Evil's territory.
They took the super out of his name to his playstyle from Super Moreno to Super Deep. Super deep.
Mine with the Berserker's Fury though now, those are some hard-hitting crits. So he is on curve, and again, back to the keys to victory. That is not how you want the game to be going. Everyone's probably rotating now towards the turtle. Will Evo's Glory feel confident enough to try and go for some kind of exchange right here? Because Bigatron, they're on a roll.
He was 2 levels above of Brands. Now Brands is catching up.
Oh. Never mind, I keep from forgetting. That's an amazing set. Could have been, but now no time journey. Veldora revealed. Oh, cancelled out. He might have to go DPZ. What? He decides to go for the OPZ, and Super Ken jumps in now with the Violent Requiem, locking Van Strong down, and Iman picks up the kill. Brands is kiting away.
Oh, no.
But now he gets taken out by the Venyons of Cerezo.
There goes his life. 3 members taken down. Relord into Iman's pocket, by the way, as Super Ken goes in for more, takes away that purple buff.
Man, he was Glory. I think they weren't expecting that kind of damage, that amount.
Yeah, definitely not.
At that kind of speed. So Veldora definitely was making a split-second call here, like, oh, dude, DPZ or APZ? And then he just went for it, and that was just not the way to go.
Key, man, this is pretty dirty, man.
Moreno reminds me of Sans.
Who, Moreno?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look at him. He's already doing Novaria things right now, but dude, these alarm bombs, I think it took Warlord really low earlier.
Of course, the alarm bombs, they do more damage the longer the game goes, ladies and gentlemen back at home. So the longer this game goes, the more Evo's Glory has to be concerned. And look at Iman.
Iman.
He's not on the carry, he's not on the tank build, but with a Diggy behind him, he feels fully comfortable just standing there.
Come on, look at this poke, right?
Look at this game fact.
Let's take a look at this game fact. In MPL ID Season 12, Diggy from Key has 100% win rate from 5 uses. It could be 100% from 6 uses real soon, looking at how this game is going, because look at the poke, right? You got poke from Key, and then you have poke from Moreno, and then Iman just does Iman things under the turret onto Evo's Glory. So even before Evos look for a proper setup, they're already caught super low. That puts them at a disadvantage. What do they do?
Falcom Cell, go get better connection with 3 gigabytes of extra quota.
Maybe with a better connection, Evo's Glory, let's try and bait something out. The fact is that they have a very good combo, but with the time journey, literally, okay, 3 members on their team just have their purpose
no way.
denied. But oh no, the Congo line!
Oh my god.
Tribute to Cornet, man. Tas from Bigatron Alpha as they wait for the Lord.
That is demoralizing. Like, heavily so. Evo's Glory. Van is still trying to make something happen. He gets a turret, but it's gonna be a free Lord for Bigatron.
He doesn't have purple though, right?
Don't think he does. She believe it was stolen by Iman in their earlier sequence.
That was our first 5-man Tastas though.
Yeah, I think, what was the last time we saw the 5-man Tastas?
I think it was Onyx.
Might be Onyx, but
Not in a line like that.
No,
No,
it was
no.
like, but it was outside of the base.
The last time I remember the line was RQ, season 7, I think.
Oh, that's a
Season
long
8.
time ago.
Yeah, it's been long. Okay, I think it was up against
Long
Alter
time.
Ego.
Oh.
you love to see it, but you feel bad for the guys on the receiving end. This is tough enough as it is, but hey, if they can turn this around, that's gonna be big flexes. Van 1v3, just clearing.
One of the minion waves, doing a good job.
He has to be careful though.
That's well played by Van.
The Lord is still marching down in the bottom side though.
Look at the cut by Van.
Top side.
Ooh. The snipes coming in. Look at the player head-to-head right here. It seems somewhat even. It's just the average KDA for Moreno is insanely higher than Warlord. Shows again the experience. You were calling him potentially something of the second side.
Van, go back. Van, go back.
Eternal Guard coming down. Super Cannon with a defensive spatial migration key. Not popping the time journey there. Pops it a bit too late. I don't know if that was a bug, but he was in the little bird form and we did see the time journey. 6.3k. Base turret only down below. Evo still holding strong.
This is such an annoying draft, by the way. I just realized that Diggy gives intel and so does Novaria. Whoa!
He's gone, he's gone.
Yeah. There's no... Oh, no! Oh! That strong missed and Chorizo doesn't. Penalty zone to the back and Man again looking for maybe possibly the second Savage. But Brands backs away. The Astral Echo was enough to zone them back. Moreno walks up and shoots Warlord down. Now looking for the siege up top and Man's back to full HP. And Veldora has no way to engage now. No penalty zone. Warlord trying to defend. Veldora brought back, and again it's an unofficial triple. It's an unofficial maniac for Iman. Holy moly, Brad, very low. Moreno recalling in front of their faces. The base is wide open. They're looking for the end right now. Supercan jumps into the back line, able to find a Battle Requiem again as Braz will fall. And the unofficial Savage by Iman. A winning moment brought to you by Samsung Galaxy S24 series. A stomp.
Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Brutal, Bruno.
The Red Raider.
Bro, man. No, I'll stop. Anyway, what a convincing 2-0 by Bigatron Alpha today. And unfortunately, the first Savage, it has to be against Evo's Glory. It's always so bitter to be on the receiving end of a Savage. And unfortunately, this season, it's Evo's. I think the last Savage we got was CW against Evo's too, wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it? Against
that was
Evo's?
so long ago.
No way.
We'll fact check. We'll fact check.
Yeah. Hopefully production can put that up. The Savage last time, what? Yeah, but man, what a performance by BTR here. What a statement.
They're looking really, really good, man. They've got that flexibility.
So scary.
They got that smart draft. They have the mental fortitude to bring it to the late stages of the game. This is looking like a very terrifying team for everyone else in the league.
So scary. Can you imagine? I'd love to see them play against Onyx now.
Me too. I think Moko agrees too.
Oh, they're
Very
crying.
unfortunate for the Evo's Glory fans though. They came here to support. Super sad scenes, man. The thrill and the agony always.
It's okay. Chin up, Evo's Glory. It's still early on the season. Still have faith in your roster, right?
Wow, Bigatron!
Well, let's take a look at the interview with Moko and Bigatron Alpha.
Wow! Eman! This is your first stage in MPL Indonesia Season 13. How was it?
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
Udah bisa bahasa Indonesia belum? Ken, udah bisa bahasa Indonesia nggak nih? Udah bisa? Dikit-dikit. Eman, could you try to speak in bahasa?
Aku sayang kamu semua.
Aku sayang kamu semua. And ini yang menarik karena Eman, you are the first Savage in the MPL Indonesia Season 13. And it was the very fast, it was the fastest Savage in the MPL Indonesia history on the very first week. What do you think about that?
It was only lucky. It was only lucky.
Oh, okay. Dan tadi boleh dong nanyain Moreno. Tadi tuh teman-teman Bigatroopers ngelihat gak? Teman-teman Bigatron baris-baris recall itu maksudnya apa, Moreno?
Nggak tahu disuruh Ken.
Disuruh Ken?
Nggak tahu disuruh siapa ya? Oh disuruh Eman.
Disuruh Eman apa Ken nih? Ken?
Disuruh Eman. Lupa. Nggak tahu pokoknya ada yang nyuruh. Ya udah recall.
Ada yang nyuruh, kita konfirmasi langsung. Ken, kamu tadi nyuruh baris-baris nggak?
Bukan.
Siapa dong?
Kayaknya Eman. Nggak
Eman.
tahu juga sih, nggak tahu.
Ewan, you ask them to like line up and recall.
Oh, dia pun bohong.
Oke, jadi saling tolong menolong. Tapi ada alasannya nggak sih? Kenapa tuh? Buat apa?
Gak ada sih, gak ada.
Gak ada.
Buat nunggu lot.
Nunggu apa?
Nunggu lot spawn.
Oh, dan ini Ken. Ini kamu kan udah pernah ketemu Van di season sebelumnya, tapi Van kali ini berbeda karena berada di tim yang berbeda dengan jersey yang berbeda. Apa nih menurut kamu perbedaan Van yang di season kemarin dan juga season sekarang?
Gak ada bedanya, masih sama-sama jago kayak season kemarin. Cuman paling bedanya beda tim aja kali ya.
Cuman beda tim aja. Tapi Van yang lebih menyulitkan kamu tuh yang mana? Van sebelumnya apa Van yang sekarang nih?
Pan yang sekarang.
Van yang sekarang, kenapa?
Soalnya game 1 kita hampir kalah.
Game 1 hampir kalah tapi menang tanpa memberikan poin sama sekali ya. 2-0. Ki. Ini
Ya.
gimana nih rasanya kamu ketemu Warlord dan juga Brans yang dulu nih rekan setim kamu. Sekarang jadi lawan di Land of Dawn.
Perasaannya ya biasa aja sih.
Biasa aja.
Sama kayak lawan-lawan yang lain juga sama aja.
Tapi gimana nih, biasanya kan kawan sekarang lawan ketemu di Land of Dawn. Kamu melihat perkembangan mereka tuh seperti apa sih?
Perkembangan mereka ya so far so good lah. Maksudnya mereka juga improve lah dari season-season sebelumnya.
Oke, dan ada juga yang menarik nih. Eman, you met Coach Theo, but right now he's not on your team. What do you think about that? You're facing Coach Theo's team.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know what to say.
Why? But what do you think about that?
I feel so happy because I beat him.
Oke, Coach Theo. Jadi ini menarik karena Eman melawan Coach Theo yang menjadi coachnya pada saat di PH. Dan katanya seneng ya bisa melawan Coach Theo, dikalahin. Oke, dan ini mungkin yang terakhir nih buat Sorry Zo. Nextnya nih lawan AE, lawan Alter Ego. Udah siap nggak nih?
Siap.
Siap. Kalau ini kan kita udah mau menyambut Ramadan nih. Sebelumnya tuh mau perang sarung. Kalau kali ini mau apa nih? Mau perang sarung?
Boleh sih perang sarung lagi.
Perang sarung lagi. Dan mungkin yang terakhir Ki. Ada yang mau disampaikan ini buat Big Troopers yang dari tadi semangat banget buat kalian?
Aduh, buat Big Troopers ya. Nggak pernah bosan sih buat saya thank you ke mereka karena mereka udah dukung kita. Dari season-season sebelumnya juga mereka tetap setia dukung kita. Terima kasih.
Wow, sekali lagi mana suaranya Big Troopers? Luar biasa dan kali ini Bigetron Alpha akhirnya menutup hari ini dengan kemenangan. Tapi seperti apa kemenangannya akan dikupas langsung oleh para casters kita yang sudah ready. Silakan casters.
For Bigetron Alpha. Why aren't there any congratulations to me today?
God bless you, bro.
God did.
It's fine. Rome wasn't built in a day.
It wasn't.
It really wasn't. It was built over a course of quite a long time though, so I'm quite concerned, man.
It's fine.
Just let it settle in.
But for Savage, am I right?
Savage and then unofficial Savage.
Twice. That's crazy. Hi.
Dude, the
Sorry.
robots threw the tigers into the meat grinder, man.
I mean,
In the end there, they were just moving out one by one, just getting shredded. That was tough.
because
Trying to make it the MASH era, bro.
It's almost like Malevolon.
Oh, Creek.
Sorry, weird reference, but go on.
it's fine. But like, you know, best transfer of the season.
Emma.
Yeah.
So far?
It looks like it, right?